brought to you live via St. Louis, Missouri. This is Bombers Game Mic. I'm Paul D, and this afternoon is the rubber match of this three-game series down at Busch Stadium between the visiting Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals. Last night, the St. Louis Cardinals offense went absolutely bananas. One in the bottom of the first, 6 in the bottom of the 6th. And they just never looked back. They cruised to a 7-0 victory behind 7 brilliant innings behind Andre Pallante. But that is yesterday, and it is now today, which means new day, new game. That means I'm going to give you the starting 9. So join the game, Mike. Roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from. Hitting lead off at shortstop for the Reds is Ellie De La Cruz. Hitting second at second base is Steer. Batting third in left field is J.J. Bleday. Batting cleanup at DH is Eugenio Suarez. Batting fifth at first base is Daniel Lau. Batting sixth in center field is Myers. Batting seventh in right field is Marte. Batting eighth at catcher is Trevino. Batting ninth at the hot corner is Hayes. Now the starting 9 for the St. Louis Cardinals. Leading off at second base, the NL rookie sensation J.J. Weatherall. Batting second in right field is Jordan Alexander Walker. Batting third at DH is Ivan Herrera. Batting cleanup at first base is Alec Burleson. Batting fifth at shortstop is Mason Wynn. Batting sixth in center field is Jose Fermin. Batting seventh in left field is Nelson Velasquez. Batting eighth at the hot corner is the rook Blaze Jordan. Had a great night last night. And batting ninth behind the dish is Pedro Pajes, and those are your starting 9 for both clubs. Now, taking the mound this afternoon for the St. Louis Cardinals is Kyle Leahy. Kyle Leahy, in 19 starts this year, is 7-4 with a 3.59 ERA and 95 1/3 innings pitched. 79 strikeouts in that span and a whip of 1.35. In his last 5 starts, he has been absolutely outstanding. He has something like an ERA of 0.79 in his last 5 starts. It's fairly ridiculous, to say the least. So he has really just been altogether outstanding, very focused, very purposeful, very confident. You can see it in his eyes on the mound. And, of course, going for the visiting Cincinnati Reds is the 27-year-old left-hander Andrew Abbott. In 21 games this year, he's 5-6 with a 3.89 ERA and 111 innings pitched, 90 strikeouts in that time, and a whip of 1.40. And taking the mound and the field are the St. Louis Cardinals. They are wearing their standard white tops, white bottoms, birds on the bat, red letters and numbers. And once again, they are wearing their Hall of Fame throwback caps, in this case with dark navy on the top, block red letters, STL over the front, and red bills. I gave you the numbers on Kyle Leahy there just a moment ago. But join the game, Mike. Roll call. Let me know where y'all are watching or listening from. It is good to see you here on this Sunday afternoon. Hitting leadoff down there in the chat, Ronald Lyle. Cheers to the Green Mountain State. Hey, Cardinal fans. Ready for another win? Smash that like button and help out the channel. Cheers to that, my friend. Justin Beasley. Good evening, chat. Welcome to the stream. Defensive alignment for the Cardinals. Velasquez in left. Fairbean in center. Walker in right. Blaze Jordan at third. Wynn at short. Weatherall at second. Burleson is at first. Pajes is behind the dish and battery mate to Kyle Leahy, who's on the mound. Now, Philip. Paul, have you been to Dogtown in Soulard? And call a winner today, please. Well, I have no control over who wins it, but I can control how I call it. So, unfortunately, you gotta address your wishes to the Cardinals on that one. That is beyond my remit, or generally outside of my providence, unfortunately. But have I been to Dogtown and Soulard? Well, I've definitely been to Soulard. Mrs. Game Mike and I actually had our wedding in Soulard. Now, strutting into the box is the switch hitting Ellie De La Cruz. He's going to hit left-handed against the right-handed Kyle Leahy. Just a moment away here from scheduled first pitch. Hope y'all are having a wonderful Sunday afternoon. Thank you for spending part of it here with me on Game Mike. Kyle Leahy looks in. He comes to the wide, the first pitch. A 4-seam fastball up and away, and we are underway. Elly De La Cruz, 276, 17 home runs, 46 RBIs in 84 games, and 852 OPS. He is at shortstop, the 1-0. A 4-seam fastball away and out of the zone. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. Seems like a nice day to see a ball game, though I don't necessarily know I'd be going to a 1:15 start at the end of July at Busch Stadium. Now, the 2-0 offering. Swinging strike of the 4-seam fastball on the outside corner below the belt. De La Cruz swung right underneath it, and the count is 2-1. Now, coming motions Leahy, the 2-1 to De La Cruz. A curveball down and in and out of the zone. The count is 3 balls and 1 strike. So, facing the left-hander, Andrew Abbott, there are a couple of lefties that are not in the lineup, mainly Lars Nootbaar and Nathan Church. Here's the pitch. Heading out there into center field, going back is Paramine. He makes the catch on the run in front of the warning track for the first out of the inning. So, Elly De La Cruz flies out 8 on the play. As I was just mentioning, no Nate Church in the lineup, facing the lefty Andrew Abbott. In the case of Lars Nootbaar, he was actually pulled in last night's game due to dehydration and dizziness. He is currently day-to-day and starting a game a little after 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday at Busch Stadium was not the ideal situation to recover from that. Now here's the righty steer, the first pitch. Fouled back on a 4-seam fastball on the outside corner. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. That was the last I learned of him, because I remember when they yanked him last night after the big inning, I thought, well, maybe Ollie's just giving him the rest of the night off, even though he had the full day off the game before. Coming winds Leahy, the 0-1. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count is 0-2. John Williams, hey everybody, John from Wentzville, Missouri. Cheers, Wentzville, Missouri. Welcome, everyone. Let's keep the winning streak going. Cheers to that, John. I hope you're well this afternoon. Now, Leahy is on the bump again. He comes motion. He deals. A 4-seam fastball up and away from Steer, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jeff Coleman, here we go again indeed. Now, he comes wide, the 1-2. A sweeper upstairs out of the zone ruled a ball. The count comes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Spencer Steer hitting 240, 16 home runs, 40 RBIs in 97 games. Nobody on with 1 out. Top of the first inning, no score. The 2-2. A sinker just low on the outer third, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cincinnati Reds are wearing their standard gray tops, gray bottoms with red letters and numbers with a white outline, and the red hat and helmet. Here's a pitch. Foul down the first base side and out of play on the sinker on the outer third, about thigh high, and the count is 3-2. On deck is J.J. Bleday. Leahy comes wide. He deals. Swinging strike 3. Down, hack, and goes Steer for the second out of the inning. So in that case, that looked to be probably a tight slider, perhaps. Whatever the case, he swung and missed for the second out. So nobody on with 2 out top of the first inning, no score. Now here is J.J. Bleday, and the pitch is up and away. A sweeper called a ball. The count is 1-0. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Coming winds Leahy, the 1-0. A slider down and in and well out of the zone. The count is 2-0. J.J. Bleday in 269 at-bats this year is hitting 238, 17 home runs, 44 RBIs with 6 stolen bases at 821 OPS. Leahy comes wide, the 2-0. Strike, changeup on the outside corner about thigh high, and the count is 2-1. Infield defense clearly shaded towards right with the lefty Bleday. The 2-1. A 4-seam fastball just misses the outside corner. It's ruled a ball, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. A fine afternoon for baseball, and I'm very happy to be here calling it for you. The 3-1 pitch. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count comes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to J.J. Bleday. So nobody on, 2 out. Top of the first inning, no score. It's a 3-2 count to the left fielder, the left-hand hitting Bleday. On deck is Eugenio Suarez, had the golden sombrero last night. The 3-2. Ball 4 on the changeup, up and away. So Bleday works a 2-out walk here at the top of the first inning, and the Reds have a runner on first with 2 out. And here comes Eugenio Suarez. Like I said last night, had the golden sombrero in terms of strikeouts. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. In 267 at-bats this year, Suarez is hitting .210 with 14 home runs, 39 RBIs, a .689 OPS. From the stretch is Leahy. He sets at the Birds. He deals. Strike, sinker on the outer third at the knees, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Bleday leads off first with 2 out. Coming to the Birds is Leahy. The 0-1. Hit foul behind home plate on the curveball away, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. So I hope you all are having a wonderful Sunday afternoon. A wonderful late July Sunday afternoon here in America's heartland. He comes set. The 0-2. Foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count remains 0-2. For those of you not in the area, right now it is 94 degrees here. We have an extreme heat warning. Not the most pleasant situation in the world. Currently sitting at 65% humidity. Coming sets Leahy, the 0-2. Check swing, did he go around? No, says Blue down the first baseline. He was able to hold it up, and it had everything to do with the rotation of his body. The way, and Ollie Marmol is not pleased with the first base umpire. He thought he went around, but the case that the first base umpire is making is he did not actually move the bat. He was just moving his torso, and the bat came with it, which is kind of an interesting distinction when you think about it. We're seeing it here on the replay. And did he hold up? Barely. Now, here's the pitch. Swinging strike 3. Down, hacking goes Suarez. For the third and final out of the inning. So, no runs, no hits, 1 walk, 1 left on. After 1 half inning of play, it is the Cincinnati Reds nothing and the St. Louis Cardinals coming to bat. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Well, something interesting there. Going back to last night for Eugenio Suarez, that was his 5th strikeout in as many plate appearances dating back to the beginning of last night's game. I think that's interesting. And it was an interesting, almost academic argument that was going on between Ollie Marmol and the first base umpire. And boy, we don't see Ollie Marmol get fired up very often, but he was really, really irritated there. So, I hope you all are having a wonderful afternoon. Let's get back to the chat. So Kobo, another day game. Can they do it? I'm skeptical. I wouldn't worry too much one way or the other. Let's let them play ball. Jeff Coleman, find that like button, friends. Thank you so much, Jeff. And a $1 super from Jeff Coleman. Thank you so much. I apologize, I didn't catch it earlier. Everything just came together so quick all at once here. A little bit of a tight squeeze getting this thing done this afternoon. I'm watching this rubber game on YouTube. Yes, you are, Growbrats. Growbots. Growbrats. There you go. Or rather, Growbra, if I remember correctly, now that I think about it. A manager at Panera Bread at Mid Rivers Mall. Are you, Jeff? Oh, really? Wow. I've been to Mid Rivers Mall many times. Now, here's a lefty, Andrew Abbott, 5-6 with a 3.89 ERA, 50 walks against 90 strikeouts, a 1.40 ERA. Lefty-lefty matchup, the first pitch to JJ. Strike, four-seam fastball inside corner, thigh high, and the count is 0-1. He throws a four-seamer, a sweeper, a changeup, a curve, and a cutter, does Andrew Abbott. The left-handed hitting righty platoon is in effect today against the left-hand pitcher Abbott. J.J. Wetherell hitting .256. The 0-1 from Abbott. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway below the belt to Wetherell. And the count is no balls and two strikes. Today, of course, the Cardinals are wearing, at least in their helmets, their dark navy top, red bill, birds on the back cap. 0-2, swinging strike three, dropped there by the catcher. He throws over to first to get Wetherell for the strikeout, and that is the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. Now here comes Jordan Alexander Walker, Reds defensive alignment. Blade in left, Myers in center, Marte in right, Hayes at third, De La Cruz at short, Steer at second, Nathaniel Lau at first. Jose Trevino is behind the dish, battery mate to Andrew Abbott, who is on the mound. Jordan Alexander Walker this year hitting 396 at-bats. He throws a curveball strike on the outside corner. Hitting .290 with 22 home runs, 77 RBIs, 14 stolen bases, and 867 OPS. Lefty-righty matchup. Come in one, the 0-1 offering. Hit on out there into right field. Going back is the right fielder. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So Jordan Walker flies out 9 to his counterpart for the second out. And here comes Ivan Herrera, third game out of the two-hole for him. Had a very nice night last night. Most notably, a two-run bases-clearing double in the bottom of the sixth inning. Lefty-righty matchup. Abbott winds. The first pitch to Herrera. A changeup away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. This has now been 2 games since Ivan Herrera was last since plunked. Now, the 1-0 pitch. A changeup down and away, ruled a ball. The count is 2-0. Hey, Chuck Gaming. Hey, Paul in chat. Hey, Chuck Gaming. How's it going, my friend? JoJo Spades. Hi, Paulie D. Go Cards. And go JoJo Spades. The 2-0. Strike. Cutter on the outer third. Thigh high to Ivan Herrera. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, the 2-1 pitch. A curveball down and away and out of the zone. The count is 3-1. Ethan, I am here, and where I am, it feels like 118 degrees. Quote, man, Missouri has normal weather, end quote. Someone who has never been to St. Louis, it can be very punishing here. The 3-1, swinging strike on the changeup down and away. Swinging over the top of that one was Herrera, and the count is 3-2. So the bases are empty with 2 out here in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Andrew Abbott here throws the 3-2, foul down the first base side and out of play. John George, hi Paul, JB in chat. Please stay hydrated and stay cool as our Redbirds get a win. Oh, believe me, I am all over that, John. Abbott looks in. He comes wide, the 3-2 offering. Called strike 3, four-seam fastball, inner third thigh high for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 1 full inning of play, it is scoreless going to the top of the second inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. George Polo. I lost. There you go. Hey, Paul, unfortunately, haven't been able to watch your streams lately. How come you don't have your face on cam like a while ago? Because I'm setting up my studio again. It should be ready sometime early this upcoming week. This is not a permanent arrangement. But in the meanwhile, you'll get the still of me as if I'm on the Saturday Evening Post. And it was done by Norman Rockwell. A little bit of classic Americana there in terms of art style. And, in fact, after this game, I'm going to be getting back to work and getting the studio here together because I want to get back on camera. I want full functionality in my setup, and I'm all about that. Jimmy, hi, Paul and everybody. Hey, Jimmy. Edgar Williams, Marvel putting on a show. Yeah, he did. Ollie must have had a good night last night. He's all fired up. Yeah, I'd say so. Harold, hi, guys. Hey, Harold, welcome back. Hope you had a good night. This game is already moving quick. Sure is. Paul, the public demands face cam for Pete's sake. Yeah, they'll get it. Don't worry. I know everybody wants to see the live feed of this 15 out of 10 handsome face, and I will give the people what they want. But now you just have to deal with my golden radio voice as I get here and pick up the proximity effect on this RE20, such as there is on an RE20. All right, we're back here for the top of the second inning. Due up is Lau, Myers, and Marte. 5, 6, and 7. The first pitch hit to the left side and through into left field for a base hit. Picking it up is Velasquez, tossed it back in. So Nathaniel Lau hits it the other way for a single, and the Reds have a runner on first with nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Now they're having a little in-game interview with Pallante in the dugout with an actual correspondent and microphone, which I find so strange. That is definitely a more modern innovation. It's not like just having like the headset on. We've seen that for a couple of decades. But actually having a reporter in the clubhouse with a cameraman and microphone they stick into your face. I'll never get used to that. I admit, I'm an old man. Now, here is the center fielder. Here's the pitch. Fouled down the first base side and out of play on the slider away, and the count is 0-1. The righty Myers, it's a righty-righty matchup. Dane Myers this year at 135 at-bats, hitting .259, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases, a .739 OPS. Now the pitch. Strike, 4-seam fastball, outer third thigh high, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Brian Jones. Let's go Reds. Hey, you're welcome here. Now the 0-2. A sweeper well upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. I talked about Oral Hershiser's 59 consecutive scoreless innings, but I learned he stretched that into postseason. Yeah. To reach 67 consecutive scoreless innings. To put that into perspective, the 1-2 hit to the left side and past a diving Mason Wynn into center field for a base hit. So Myers manages to get past the diving grab of Mason Wynn. It goes in the center field, and now the Reds have runners on first and second with nobody out here in the top of the second inning. So Kyle Leahy, dealing with a couple of singles, has himself in a bit of trouble. Now here's the right-handed hitting right fielder Marte, 184, 6 home runs, 13 RBIs in 46 games. Righty-righty matchup. Runners lead off first and second. From the stretch is Leahy. He shows bunt, and he bunts it up in the air and foul behind home plate, and the count is 0-1. Oh, well, thank you so much, Brian, and you're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoy it. Back into the box is Marte. Next pitch is going to be Leahy's 30th. He sets at the Birds. The 0-1. Strike, curveball on the inner third below the belt, and the count is 0-2. He picks up the rosin bag, gives it a couple of tosses before plopping it back down, getting a bit more traction between him and the human sweat on the baseball. Come in set, the 0-2 offering, hit to the right side, picked up by Weatherall, shoved through the second one, on to first. Not in time. He got delayed there on the transfer by the slide from the runner, did Mason Wynn, and it was a beat just long enough so the runner could beat the relay throw to first. So they get a force at second for the first out, and now that puts runners on first and third with one out. It was almost a brilliant double play, but no dice there, and that's the first out. Now stepping up is the catcher Trevino. He is the 8-hitter this afternoon. In 75 at-bats this year, hitting .267 with 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, a .703 OPS. It's a righty-righty matchup. He's done that in 27 games. Runners lead off first and third with 1 out. Coming set at the Birds is Leahy. The first pitch, Trevino. Strike, slider on the outside corner below the belt. Count is 0-1. That was actually fairly generous. Had Trevino actually gone and challenged that, he probably would have won. And every time I see Trevino, I see Lee Trevino. But that's just me. The 0-1. Strike, four-seam fastball whispers over the black of the outside corner, thigh high. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. And he once again picks up the rosin bag for a couple more pops. Runners are on first and third. They are at modified double play depth. Outfield defense straight away at the corner, slightly towards right, is the center fielder Fermin. Coming sets Leahy. The 0-2. A sinker up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trevino spins his bat forward in a practice fashion a few times. Runners lead. Coming set is Leahy. The 1-2. A curveball down and away and out of the zone. The count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trevino this year with runners in scoring position. 3 for 17, a home run and 7 RBIs. Not bad for the backup catcher. Certainly one of them. Coming set is Leahy. The 2-2 offering. A sinker upstairs and out of the zone, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That was the 36th pitch for Leahy. On deck is the 9-hitter, the third baseman Hayes. Modified double play depth there with Weatherall and Wynn playing back and towards second each. He throws over to first, back in time as a runner with less than a 0 lead. So we await the 3-2 offering. And Leahy is really just like picking up that rosin bag far more than you see most pitchers. He comes set at the Birds. The 3-2. Swinging strike 3. There goes the runner. There's the throw. And it is a strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the inning. Oh, what a play there. The strikeout at the plate. And Pedro Paez there throwing out the runner, trying to get second on the steal. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. So Leahy gets in and out of trouble. And that will do it. After 1.5 innings of play, it is scoreless going to the bottom of the 2nd inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Wow, a strike him out, throw him out, double play. We don't just get a double play, and we don't just get a strikeout, but it also ends the inning. That was beautiful to watch. Due up for the Redbirds in the bottom of the 2nd inning is Alec Burleson, followed by Mason Wynn and Jose Fermin. So 4, 5, and 6 in the Cardinal order. Once again, last night, Lars Dupar was yanked after that big bottom of the 6th inning due to feeling lightheaded and being dehydrated. So it wasn't just to give him the rest of the night off, because he had the whole day off, or rather the whole game off before that. But no doubt Ollie Marmol is being very careful here, as the Cardinals really are with any of the players on their roster. And obviously they really handle pitchers very carefully, but position players no less, especially one they might end up trading come August 3rd. I'm glad you love it, Harold. So do I. John Willems, go Pedro. Yeah, man, I'm voting for Pedro. Let's go Burley. Oh, yeah. So Andrew Abbott will be coming out for his 2nd frame of work. He put the Cardinals down in order in the bottom of the 1st inning. And we're back for the bottom of the 2nd inning. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup with the lefty Abbott against the lefty Burleson. Yep, this is one of those days where the tarps off crowd's going to go home with a really nasty sunbird. Now the pitch to Burley. Swinging strike on the sweeper downstairs, and the count is 0-1. He gets back into the box. Abbott winds the 0-1. A four-seam fastball well up and in. Getting out of the way of that was Burleson, and the count is 1-1. In 396 at-bats this year, Burley's hitting .285, 15 home runs, 70 RBIs, and .813 OPS. The 1-1 pitch. Hit foul behind home plate. Just missed it, and you can see the look on Burley's face that he's disappointed that he did. And the count is 1-2. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the second inning, no score. Abbott winds the 1-2. A four-seam fastball well upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 2-2 strikes. Last 9 games, Burley's hitting .405, a couple of doubles, 3 RBIs, the 2-2. Hit on out there into right field, going back, looking up, and it is gone. A solo home run for Alec Burleson. Burn, Burley, burn, and that will give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. That really, why did he stop at second there? That thing went over the fence. What's going on here? Let's see this. Oh, it hit the base of the wall. Oh, I thought it had got it. I missed it. I'm sorry. Misfire on my part. He's at second. The score is still tied at 0-0. Here's the first pitch to win. Curveball downstairs, and the count is 1-0. Oh, boy. What a day I'm having, folks. Getting a little ahead of myself. Coming sets Abbott, the 1-0. Hit on up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Picked up in center field. Staying there at third is Burleson. And now the Cardinals have runners on first and third with nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. That is going on the season blooper reel. Oh, boy. Here's Jose Fermin for his first at-bat. The first pitch from Abbott. A changeup low and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Jose Fermin, the right-hander, makes it a lefty-righty matchup. He's hitting .256 this year in part-time duty. 4 home runs, 20 RBIs in 68 games, a .695 OPS. Abbott from the stretch, the 1-0. There's a fly ball to left field. Coming in is Blade. He makes the catch. Tagging coming home is Burleson. He will score, and that will give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead on the sacrifice fly and RBI by Jose Fermin, and the Cardinals take a 1-0 lead. Okay, so the Cardinals have bailed me out there. They still have the runner on first with 1 out in the person of Mason Wynn. Now, here is Velasquez, lefty-righty matchup, runner on first with 1 out. He throws over to first, back in time with the head first slide is Mason Wynn. And we wait the first pitch. Nelson Velasquez in 29 games, .715, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, a .743 OPS. Abbott is from the stretch. He sets at the letters. The first pitch. A changeup up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Infield defense playing back and to the left side with the righty, Velasquez. The 1-0 pitch. Strike, 4-seam fastball on the outside corner below the belt. A very generous call, no doubt, but not being challenged. The count is 1-1. Okay. Come and set. The 1-1. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-1 strike. Velasquez is back into the box. First baseman is holding Wynn there on the right side. Here's a pitch. A changeup on the outside corner ruled a ball, and the count is 3-1 strike. Coming set is Abbott at the letters. The 3-1. Swinging strike on the changeup on the outside corner. Swinging over the top of that one is Velasquez. And the count is full. 3-2 strikes. Outfield defense on the corners very much shaded towards center, away from the lines. And playing fairly deep all told. Coming set is Abbott. He's at the stretch. The 3-2. Foul tipped on the changeup up and away, so Velasquez stays alive there, and the count remains 3-2. Runner leads off first with 1 out. It's a full count. He sets. The 3-2. Hit on out there into center field. Charging is the center fielder. He makes the catch on the run for the second out of the inning. Velasquez did everything right, putting the barrel on that ball. It just so happened to be going right to Myers in center field. Now here's the rook, Blaze Jordan. 31 games, 245, a home run, 22 RBIs, 620 OPS. It's a lefty-righty matchup. Wynn leads off first with 2 out. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Cardinals, one already in. Here's the pitch. A curveball down and in the dirt, and the count is 1-0. He had a very fine single to right that accounted for 2 RBIs in that big bottom of the 6th inning last night. Coming set is Abbott. He deals. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play on a changeup on the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. Roger Baseman. Tucson checking in. Watching us from the surface of the sun. Coming set is Abbott. The 1-1 pitch. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. Blaze gets back into the box. Runner leads off first with 2 out. 1 already in for the Cardinals. They have a 1-0 lead. Abbott comes set at the letters. He throws over to first. Back in time is Mason Wynn with less than a 0 lead. Not even the headed first slide. The count remains 2-1. Nathaniel Lau keeping him there close to the base. Coming set is Abbott, the 2-1. A changeup away and over the lefty batter's box, and the count comes to 3-1 strike. He looks in. He comes set at the stretch. Runner leads off first. The 3-1 offering. Strike, four-seam fastball outside corner, thigh high. And the count is now full to Blaze Jordan. On deck is Pedro Pajes. This will be Abbott's 34th pitch in 1 2/3 inning of work. The 3-2. Spoiled on the four-seam fastball away. Staying alive there is Blaze Jordan. And the count remains 3-2 strikes. So I want to thank you all so much for spending part of your Sunday afternoon with me here on Game Mike. Abbott comes set at the letters. The 3-2. Ball 4 on the the curveball downstairs. Blaze Jordan works a 2-out walk, and now the Cardinals have runners on first and second with 2 out here in the bottom of the second inning. So Blaze Jordan expeditiously makes him way down to first base. Now here is Pedro Pajes, the right-hand hitting catcher, a lefty-righty matchup. He was the second part of that strike him out, throw him out double play in the top of the second inning. Coming set is Abbott. The first pitch to Pajes. Foul down the first base side, now to play on the four-seam fastball, and the count is 0-1. He's thrown 24 pitches this inning, has Abbott. Runners on first and second with 2 out. Abbott comes set. From the stretch, he deals a four-seam fastball away, and the count is 1-1. Oh, yes. Well, first off, thank you so much, Roger. Infield defense playing back and towards the left-hand side. So it's Roger baseman, not Roger baseman. I take it as what you're getting at. Come in set. The 1-1. Foul down the first base side and out of play. Doge Bowl. How's the attendance looking on this difficult day to be outside? I would describe it as decent. Not as big as last night, but kind of understandable. The 1-2 offering. And he popped it up, and it goes behind home plate. Underneath it is Trevino. He makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. So Pedro Paez fouls out for the final out. And after 2 full innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the top of the third inning. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my Call of Redbird action this afternoon here on Game Mike, you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. It's greatly appreciated, helping this channel out more than you can know and continue to grow. You like what you see, and you're your first time here, or maybe you've been back a few times, and you keep coming back. Well, then what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe. It's a great community here on Game Mike. We have a lot of fun. With that said, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike. 1-0 Cardinals going to the top of the third inning. Due up for the Reds in the top of the third is the 9-hitter, the third baseman Hayes, followed by De La Cruz and Steer. So 9, 1, and 2 in the Reds order. Both A's are short. So Roger Bisman, I guess. Bassman, okay. Roger Bassman. Understood, Roger. So we await the top of the third inning. I hope everybody's having a lovely Sunday afternoon. Hot as it may be, punishing as it may be here in America's heartland at the moment, especially in the St. Louis area, I am very happy to be in a climate-controlled household, to say the least. All right, Roger Bassman. Got it. I can sympathize with you, Roger. My last name has been perennially misspelled and mispronounced throughout the entirety of my life. We're back here for the top of the third inning. Stepping into the box is the third baseman, Hayes. He'll be facing Kyle Leahy, coming out for his third frame of work. So far, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch to Hayes. And he popped him on up around third base. Underneath it is Blaze Jordan fighting the sun. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out there to Hayes. He pops out to third for the first out. And here comes Ellie De La Cruz, who is 0 for 1 this afternoon. Leahy is picking up that rosin bag more than I think I have seen all pitchers have picked it up combined in the last 2 games. Righty-lefty matchup, the first pitch. A 4-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Well, thank you, Harold. The 1-0. A curveball well up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. That was a curveball that did not manage to curve in any recognizable fashion. And it's a 2-0. Coming winds Leahy, the 2-0 pitch. There's a fly ball out to left field. going back, looking up. And it is gone. A long home run the other way by Eli De La Cruz. And that will tie it all up at 1. That thing had an incredibly high launch angle. When he hit it, it looked like it was going to be a medium fly ball. Then it kept going back, then going back, then going back. And next thing you know, it's beyond the Reds bullpen in the left field bleachers. He definitely got all of that. It was on a four-seam fastball on the outer third. It never came down in play, and we are all tied at 1. Now the first pitch to Steer. Strike, curveball on the inside corner below the belt, and the count is 0-1. Steer is 0 for 1 himself. It's a righty-righty matchup. Nobody on with 1 out. All tied at 1 following the De La Cruz home run to left. The old Oppo Taco, as they say. Now Leahy winds the 0-1. A sinker just upstairs on the outside corner ruled a ball, and the count is 1-1. Hey, it's Trisk. Oh, that's no stock photo. Here's the pitch. Fouled back on the slider upstairs, and the count is 1-2. There are no stock photos of me that look like it was constructed by Norman Rockwell. It's a 1-2 count. Back in the box is Steer. And back onto the bump is Leahy. He comes wide. The pitch. Called strike 3. Curveball right down Broadway. For the second out of the inning. So a nice little nifty K there by Kyle Leahy for the second out. That is his 4th on the afternoon in 2 2/3 innings of work. Now here is J.J. Bleday. Walked in his first at-bat. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch to Bleday. A sinker on the outside corner ruled a ball. Correction, a slider on the outside corner ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. Now he comes one. The 1-0 pitch. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by Weatherall. Covering the bag is Leahy. He tosses in, and he beats him to the bag for the third and final out of the inning. However, 1 run on 1 very big hit, the home run the other way by Eli De La Cruz. No walks, nobody left on. We are all tied at 1 going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All tied at 1 going to the bottom of the 3rd. All right. Let's go, listeners. Less than 20 subs away from 1,200. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, Trisk. And welcome back, Warlord. Good to see you. So, due up for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They're going back to the top of the order. Weatherholt, Walker, and Herrera, 1, 2, and 3. It's all tied at 1. Otherwise, Kyle Leahy has been pretty decent so far. There's no shame in in losing a battle to Eli De La Cruz. That much is certain. Not that you would ever wish it. Well, Jeremy, you're making an equivalence here that doesn't stand up. That's suggesting that both teams have equivalent power. And in addition, there's variation game to game. But the fact of the matter is, the Cardinals are not a power-heavy lineup, and Busch Stadium is playing very big this year. All right, we are back for the bottom of the 3rd inning, back to the top of the order. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup against Abbott with J.J. Weatherall at the plate. Now, the first pitch to J.J. Hit on out there into right field. The right fielder hauls it in for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out. Once again, Weatherall hitting that one on the screws, but it went directly out to right. Nobody on with one out, bottom of the third, all tied at 1. Now here comes Jordan Alexander Walker. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup. 40 pitches so far for Abbott. He comes one. The first pitch to Walker. A four-seam fastball upstairs, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Now, he comes one, the 1-0 pitch. A four-seam fastball away, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Jordan Walker 0 for 1 with a line out today. Abbott comes one, the 2-0. Strike, curveball on the outside corner above the knees, and the count is 2-1. A little bit, Dennis, a little bit. Last night, it was flying along till the bottom of the 6th. The 2-1 offering, hit to the left side, and stabbed on a line by Ellie De La Cruz with a headfirst dive to pick it up on a line for the second out of the inning. So, Jordan Walker, much like J.J. Weatherall before him, once again, hit it on the screws. In that case, Ellie De La Cruz with a headfirst dive to pick it up on a line to his right. All smiles after that play. Who can blame him? So nobody on with 2 out. Here is Ivan Herrera. Lefty-righty matchup. The first pitch. Strike. Cutter down Broadway below the belt. The count is 0-1. Now the 0-1 offering. Strike. Sweeper down Broadway below the belt. Not terribly dissimilar, despite it being a different pitch than the one that preceded it, and the count is 0-2. Nobody on with 2 outs, an 0-2 count. He comes wide and deals a four-seam fastball well upstairs, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the 1-2 pitch. There's a fly ball to left field, going back, looking up, and it is gone. A solo home run for Ivan Herrera. Ivan the Terrible strikes again, and that will give the Cardinals a 2-1 lead. And that time, there was no question. That one went square into the Reds' bullpen, and the Redbirds now have a 2-1 lead on the solo shot by Ivan the Terrible. Yeah, he's pumped. Who could blame him? He's starting to heat up after last night. Now, the first pitch to Burley. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 0-1. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. That was the first home run for Herrera in quite a while, it feels. Now, Abbott comes set. The 0-1 offering. Chop foul down the first baseline. The count is 0-2. Back into the box is Burley. He's 1 for 1. 50 pitches so far for Abbott in 2 2/3. The 0-2 offering. A four-seam fastball down and away and way out of the zone. The count is 1-2. Burleson doubled, and he has a run scored. Infield defense shaded towards right field with the lefty Burleson. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3. Dropped by the catcher. Trevino throws down to first to secure the strikeout, and that will do it. However, 1 run on 1 enormous hit. A solo home run by Ivan Herrera to give the Cardinals a 2-1 lead. We head to the top of the 4th inning. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my Call of Redbird action this afternoon here on Game Mike, you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. It's helping this stream get out there to Cardinal fans who need all the help they can get right now, trying to follow the Cardinals every day without having to pay for 3 or 4 different subscriptions in the process, in addition to the incredible Where's Waldo in terms of finding out where it's on. And I call almost, underline almost, every Cardinal game here on Game Mike. And Lord knows you'll also have my appreciation. On top of that, you having fun? You enjoying your time here? well, subscribe. And you can come on back anytime you like. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. So, Ivan Herrera breaks the very brief stalemate with that solo home run. That was good to see. This lineup, when Weatherall and Herrera are hitting, is so much more dynamic. I'm not saying that they haven't won games without them or scored runs without them, but the way it's designed, when those two are on, everything else really seems to fall into place. Yeah. It's a consolation prize, admittedly, Dennis, that's for sure. It's an unfortunate situation. I mean, Cardinal fans aren't alone. There are 12 other teams in baseball who are dealing with this right now. And no doubt, the reality and consequences of that are going to play out when it comes to the pending lockout and the new CBA. No kidding, Harold. Coincidentally, Ivan is halfway to tying the Major League Baseball hit-by-pitch modern single-season record. The first pitch to Suarez. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway, and the count is 0-1. Jeff Colvin with the $1 super. Thank you so much, Jeff. The 0-1. Hit foul down the third base side now to play. The count is 0-2. It is both greatly appreciated, very helpful, and the sentiment is worth its weight in gold. Now, the 0-2 offering. Swinging strike three. Down goes Suarez for the first out of the inning. In his last 6 plate appearances dating back to yesterday's game, he has struck out Eugenio Suarez 6 times in a row. Now the first pitch to Lau. Strike, curveball on the inside corner at the knees. The count is 0-1. Lau is 1 for 1. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Infield shaded towards the right side for them. Here's the pitch. A sinker down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Infield defense shaded towards right with the lefty Lau at the plate. And nobody on. Leahy looks in. He winds. He deals. Swinging strike over the top of the changeup, down and away. Excellent arm side action on that circle change. And the count is 1-2. And he picks up the rosin bag yet again. It's weird. It's like, if I didn't know any better, he managed to plant some kind of substance in there to give him a hand, though the opposing team would have the same advantage. The 1-2. Foul down the third base side, out of play on the sinker. The count is 1-2. I just think he's having trouble gripping the baseball today, and he's switching it up now, probably because he's so sweaty underneath this brutal Missouri sun, and he's trying to get all of the traction he can on the baseball. I mean, they rub him up beforehand, but still. He winds the 1-2. A curveball bounced out in front of home plate, blocked exceptionally well by Pajes, and the count is even at 2-2. Now, the 2-2 offering. A changeup away and out of the zone. The count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. He's back onto the bump. He winds. He deals. Hit on up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Into right center, picked up by Jordan Walker, tossed back in. So Lau has a 1-out single. The Reds have a runner on first with 1 out. That was the 57th pitch this afternoon for Kyle Leahy in 3 1/3 innings of work. Now, here comes the center fielder, Myers. He's 1 for 1. Leahy will be transitioning to the stretch. It is a righty-righty matchup. Runner leads off first. The first pitch. Foul tipped on the curveball down Broadway. The count is 0-1. Excellent, Justin. Myers is back into the box. Oh, wow, they already have tarps off posters printed, including in the KMOX radio booth. That's interesting. He comes set. The 0-1. Foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. A lot of rosin and a little sweat makes a very sticky substance. Don't ask me how I know this. Fair enough, Harold. Runner leads off first with 1 out, top of the 4th inning, 2-1 Cards. Here's the pitch. Swinging, strike 3. Down, heck, and goes Myers for the 2nd out of the inning. So that was on a sweeper away. He went and absolutely chased it. Had excellent late action on the thing. Had no chance. That thing was basically like throwing a frisbee. As Leahy picks up the rosin bag for the 1000th time. Now, here is a righty Marte who's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. A sinker just misses the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. Now, coming sit at the Birds is Leahy. The pitch. Swinging strike on the sweeper on the outside corner. Marte swings underneath that one, and the count is 1-1. I certainly do not envy Leahy having to pitch in this heat, but he is the professional. He sets the 1-1. Strike, changeup on the inside corner at the knees, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. 63rd pitch right there for Kyle Leahy. But there's an ABS challenge incoming, and it's confirmed a strike. It clipped that inside corner low at the knees, so the Reds lose one of their 2 ABS challenges allotted in regulation. They have 1 remaining. The Cardinals still have both of theirs. So it's a 1-2 count. Runner leads off first. Common sets Leahy. The 1-2 pitch. Hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. Picked up there by Jordan Walker, who tosses back in. Going from first to third is the runner Lau. And now the Reds have runners on first and third with 2 out here in the top of the 4th inning, following the 2-out single to right. Just got a piece of that thing. He served it the other way. It appeared to be a sweeper that didn't have the kind of vertical action that Leahy had intended. And now Pedro Pais is out on the mound to have a brief word with Kyle Leahy. Due up here is Trevino, the catcher, the 8-hitter. He's 0 for 1 and a strikeout himself. Kyle Leahy so far, 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 run earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, and the home run allowed to Ellie De La Cruz. The righty catcher, Trevino, steps into the box. It's a righty-righty matchup. Runners on first and third with 2 out. Top of the 4th inning. 2-1 Cardinals. Cummins sets Leahy. The first pitch. Strike. Slider whispers over the black of the outside corner at the knees. The count is 0-1. Now, he comes set at the Birds. The 0-1 offering. A sinker well inside, out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Trevino is back into the box. Cummins sets Leahy. He's at the stretch. The 1-1 offering. Strike, 4-seam fastball, whispers over the black of the outside corner, thigh high, and the count is 1-2. Infield defense playing back and only slightly towards left with the righty Trevino. The outfielders are both shaded towards center. A lot of territory between them and their respective baselines. Now the 1-2, swinging strike 3. Down goes Trevino for the final out of the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no walks, 2 left on. After 3.5 innings of play, it is 2-1 Redbirds going to the bottom of the 4th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. All right. Another dinger would be generational. That's a way of putting it, CCSY. He's pitching well. Maybe he likes it. Maybe so. John Wilms. Go Leahy. I think he'll be out sooner because of the heat. You're probably right. And we saw this, actually, when he pitched at home probably a little over a month ago against the Marlins on another Sunday afternoon. Roger Baseman. I think we've got the players. The problem is the coaching staff, I think. Okay. And Brian Jones rings in with a "Let's go Reds." Fair enough. So this is a wonderful Sunday. You know, Sunday is by far my favorite day of the week. It always has been. Something I find very peaceful about it. There is a certain sense of personal sovereignty in the peace that can come with a Sunday morning, at least for me. Came in with Eric Boyce. Hey, Paul D, it's a very hot day. Boy, is it ever, Eric. Harold, really enjoying this one so far, which is good because I was starting to get the feeling the Birds owed us a couple. Oh, they owe us more than a couple. Eric, let's go Cardinals. Fair enough, Husker Nation. All right, we're back for the bottom of the 4th inning. Due up for the Redbirds. Wynn, Fermin, and Velasquez, 5, 6, and 7 in the Cardinal order. They will face the lefty Andrew Abbott. Strutting into the box is the righty hitting shortstop for St. Louis, Mason Wynn, who's 1 for 1 this afternoon. 2-1 Cardinals here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Abbott gets back onto the bump. Lefty-righty matchup. Next pitch will be his 53rd. The first pitch to Wynn. A curveball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Mason Wynn hitting .237, 4 home runs, 42 RBIs in 96 games. The 1-0 offering. A four-seam fastball up and away and over the lefty batter's box, and the count is 2-0. I will be back on camera early this upcoming week, Alan. The 2-0. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 3-0. I mean, I'm very touched you all are so interested in seeing my live 15 out of 10 handsome face. It's coming. The 3-0. Strike, four-seam fastball inside corner at the knees. The count is 3-1. Oh, yeah, I am all sorts of talented, John. Now, he winds the 3-1. Ball 4, so Mason Wynn works a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Oh, I don't have a bad haircut. I am the son of not one, but 2 hairdressers. My dad successfully ran a salon in the town, the city I grew up in for over 40 years. I've never had a bad haircut. Here's the pitch. Check, swing on the sweeper down and in. Did he go? No, says Blue down the first baseline, and the count is 1-0. Last at bat, he has a sac fly and the RBI for the first run. The 1-0. Strike. Changeup in the inner third above the knees. The count's 1-1. Yes, as I recall, Eric. Yeah, the Grand Slam. How was the game yesterday in person? Let me know. Abbott comes set. The 1-1. A sweeper bounced out in front of home plate. The count is 2-1. Infield defense playing back and shaded towards left with the ready Farameen. Steer holding on the runner at first. Coming set is Abbott. The 2-1. A changeup in the dirt, blocked very well there by Trevino, and the count is 3-1. It was amazing, but it was hot. I was sweating. Yeah, it is not pleasant out there. Even at night, they're changing up the baseballs here real quick. 61 pitches so far for Abbott with the runner on first. The 3-1. Ball 4 on the four-seam fastball down and in. So a couple of free passes issued by Abbott to start this bottom of the fourth inning. The Cardinals have runners on first and second with nobody out. Now here comes Nelson Velasquez. He's 0 for 1. Lined out in his first at-bat. He's hitting .212 with 4 home runs, 12 RBIs in 29 games. Coming set is Abbott, lefty-righty matchup. He deals. Hit to the left side and picked up by De La Cruz. Shoved past the second one. On to first, not nearly in time. So they get the force at second for the first out, and that puts runners on first and third with one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. So it was kind of a slowly developing play there in a way. Mason Wynn had to kind of maneuver his way around the batted ball there, so he himself did not become victim to such a thing. The throw was late and quite wide, so Velasquez actually made it with some ease. Runners on first and third with one out. Now here's Blaze Jordan, walked in his first plate appearance. Lefty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. A sweeper downstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. He comes set. He deals. Hit foul down the first. Oh, and is picked up on the line. Stepped on first. Going far from first was Nelson Velasquez. So a line out, and Lau steps on the bag before Velasquez can get back for a double play, and that will do it. However, they can't push one across. A very difficult double play to watch there, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, 1 left on. After 4 full innings of play, it is 2-1 Cardinals going to the top of the 5th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Oh, boy, that was awful. That was awful. Off the bat, it looked like it was going clear down the line. However, he got a glove on it there. Nelson Velasquez had gone too far off of first, and then he just stepped on the bag after catching it on the line, and that was it. Instant death of the bottom of the 4th inning. In fact, in some ways, I don't even know that Velasquez, I'll have to see it on the replay, was even going that far, because it happened so quickly. The line drive was right at the first baseman, and the lead by Velasquez did not seem excessive. Assuming they give us an instant replay here, which I surely hope they do, we'll be able to give you the post-mortem on that one. Because, boy, let's put it this way. There was no place that Blaze Jordan could have hit it that was less advantageous to the Cardinals, to say the least. Talk about an inning killer. Oh, goodness. All right, we're back here for the top of the 5th inning. Hayes, De La Cruz, and Steer, 9, 1, and 2 in the Reds order. It's a 2-1 Cardinal lead. Kyle Leahy out there for his 5th frame. He's pitched 4 innings, 5 hits, 1 run earned, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. Now, the first pitch to Hayes. A slider up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. It's a righty-righty matchup. On deck is Ellie De La Cruz. Hayes is 0 for 1 this afternoon. He winds the 1-0 offering. Strike. Slider on the outer third above the knees. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. That was the 70th pitch this afternoon for Kyle Leahy. He winds. He deals. A sweeper well up and in. Having to get out of the way of that one was Hayes, and the count is 2-1. Hayes is 0 for 1 with a pop-out, as you may recall. The 2-1. A curveball just a bit upstairs, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 5th inning, 2-1 Cardinals. Infield defense slightly shaded towards left and playing back. The 3-1. There's a fly ball out to left field. Going back is Velasquez in front of the wall, looking up. And it is gone. A solo home run for Hayes. And that will tie it all up at 2. That one just got over the Reds bullpen and left. The second solo home run today given up by Kyle Leahy. And now it's all knotted at 2 here in the top of the 5th inning. The leadoff solo home run by Hayes. It seemed to be a sinker. It was on the inside corner right below the belt. He turned on it. And as you saw Velasquez begin to slow down, you began to realize just how far that ball went. Now the first pitch to De La Cruz. Strike. Sweeper on the outside corner below the belt. The count is 0-1. Speaking of solo home run, De La Cruz in his last at-bat hit one to a very similar spot. Here's the pitch. Fouled down the third base side on the changeup, and the count is 0-2. Yeah, very similar home runs, albeit coming from batters hitting on opposite sides of the plate. The 0-2. Called strike 3 on the inside corner, a sinker. For the first out of the inning, De La Cruz getting caught in the observatory, getting the backwards K. Major League Baseball's parody of Cyrillic for the first out of the inning. Now, here's the righty Steer. He's 0 for 2. Righty matchup. First pitch. Strike. Sinker whispers over the black of the outside corner thigh high, and the count is 0-1. Kyle Leahy has been moving quickly to his credit. The 0-1 offering. Spoiled the curveball down and away. Just getting a piece of that one was Steer, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Steer so far in his 0 for 2 has a pair of strikeouts against Leahy. And it looks like Steer may be going to change up his bat, or something happened to him on the swing. Tito Francona and the trainer are out there talking to him right outside of home plate, outside of the batter's box. Having a little chat with him there. I don't know if he's feeling dehydrated or something weird happened. We might be seeing a change right here in the middle of the at-bat. Let's see. There was nothing that was explicitly clear about how he might have been injured. It looked like he did something around his right wrist because he's in clear discomfort, and that's what they're checking out right now with the trainer. He's doing the old squeeze test of the right arm, and it looks like it has to do with a little bit of flexion and extension around the wrist that they're concerned with. So Tito has his arm on Steer's left shoulder as he's talking to him. So we'll see what comes of it here. I will say this, Tito Francona has definitely grown into a very avuncular, even grandfatherly presence there in the dugout. And they're going to take Steer from this game, so we're going to have a substitute bench hitter due to seeming injury, something to do with the right arm, whether it's the forearm or the wrist itself or the hand of Steer. And they're going to substitute him here with Arroyo in the middle of the at-bat. Nobody on with 1 out. It's an 0-2 count, so Arroyo's going to get loose here real quick. Paez is out on the mound having a brief chat with Leahy, taking advantage of this little interlude here. .78 pitches for Leahy. So Arroyo going to substitute for Steer mid-at-bat. Leahy starts throwing a couple of pitches there to stay loose. Though in this weather, I don't know if staying loose is so much the issue. Now here's Edwin Arroyo, the bench hitter in 41 games, 248, no home runs, 4 RBIs. Righty-lefty matchup. The 0-2 offering. Chop foul behind home plate. Just got a piece of that changeup down and away. So hopefully Steer is doing all right. Leahy comes wine. The 0-2 pitch. A curveball bounced out in front of home plate, blocked very well by Paez, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Leahy comes motion. He deals. A changeup down and in and out of the zone, and the count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leahy comes set. He winds. He deals. Hit on up in the middle and picked up on the line behind second by Mason Wynn for the second out of the inning. The defensive alignment there, very, very well done. Mason Wynn just to the left of second. He was basically in shallow center field, catching that ball off the line from Arroyo for the second out. Now here is J.J. Bleday. In 2 plate appearances, a walk and a ground out. He's 0 for 1. Righty-lefty matchup, the pitch. A sweeper, strike, and the inner third below the belt. The count is no balls and 1 strike. So nobody on with 2 out. Top of the 5th inning, all tied at 2. The 0-1 pitch. A 4-seam fastball well inside. Jackknifing out of the way there is Bleday, and the count is 1-1. Oh, John. Okay, my son Michael watching the game now. Hey, Michael and new wife Libby. Here's the pitch. A changeup just missed the outside corner. The count is 2-1. Hey, Michael and new wife Libby, married on May 16th. Very proud of them both. Well, cheers to you, John, and both of them. Here's the pitch. Strike, changeup, whispered over the black of the outside corner, thigh high, and the count is 2-2. I'm doing okay, Jeff. Having a fine Sunday afternoon. How are you? Now, he winds the 2-2 offering. There's a fly ball to center field. Going back is Fermin a couple of steps just in front of the warning track. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. So, 1 run on 1 very long hit, the solo home run by Hayes. No walks, nobody left on. After 4.5 innings of play, we are all tied at 2 going to the bottom of the 5th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Oh, okay. All right, Astral Explorer, you are Mike. It's going all right. All I can say is both congratulations to you and Libby. Welcome to the special club where we have the special membership rings. I'm very pleased to welcome you into this club. It is remarkably rewarding in ways that no one could ever have expected. But I'm happy about all of them. Well, thank you so much, Barry. You're my boy, too. Thank you so much. Anyway, So due up for the bottom of the 5th inning. Pedro Paez, J.J. Witherall, and Jordan Walker, 9-1-2 in the Cardinal order. All tied at 2. 3 solo home runs in this game so far, 2 of them for the Reds, and the one for the Cardinals off the bat of Ivan Herrera. Looks like he's starting to heat up a bit here. Not a moment too soon. The Cardinals need it badly. Cheers, Dwayne. All right, we're back for the bottom of the 5th inning. Abbott so far, 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. He has thrown 65 pitches so far. 37 of them have been strikes. Some nice establishing shots of St. Louis. Now here's Pedro Paez, lefty-righty matchup. The first pitch. A changeup up and away and out of the zone. It is 1-0. And they're showing it as Witherall up. Interesting. The 1-0. A four-seam fastball up and away, and the count is 2-0. The score bug there for Cardinals.TV getting a little ahead of themselves. This will be the 69th pitch for Abbott. The 2-0. Strike, four-seam fastball on the outside corner below the belt. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. In his first at-bat, Pedro Paez fouled out. He's doing what he can. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled straight back on the changeup away, and the count is even at 2-2. You know he just missed it because he fouled it straight back. Caught by the netting up in front of the seats behind home plate. Now Abbott winds a 2-2 offering. A four-seam fastball up and away, and the count is 3-2. Now here's a question I have for you. Watching, listening right now. I'll pose it here in a moment. The 3-2 offering fouled straight back and off the facing of the brick that crowns the area behind home plate, and the count remains 3-2. When you're at a baseball game, at a proper major league stadium, whether it's Busch or anywhere else, where is your favorite place to sit if you have the choice? The 3-2 just got a piece of that sweeper down and in, and the count is 3-2. John, Michael, Paul D, and JB, and the gang of chatters help us watch the game as if we were at the game. It's a lot of fun. That's what I go for. The 3-2. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play on the sweeper in. The count remains 3-2. So where do you all sit when you have the choice? At a proper major league venue. It can be Busch Stadium or it can be anywhere else. I know where it is for me. Now Abbott winds. He deals. Ball 4, so Paez works a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Cardinals have a runner on first with nobody out. Well, it used to be bleachers in Old Busch. All right, Harold. Dennis. And one of the party rooms where you can get all the food and drinks you want. Yes, most definitely. Here is J.J. Witherall. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. He has struck out and lined out. He's 0 for 2. The first pitch. A four-seam fastball well upstairs, and the count is 1-0. For me, I usually like sitting right behind the dugout or on deck circle of the team that I'm rooting for. Generally speaking, from the stretches, Abbott, the 1-0 offering. A four-seam fastball well upstairs, and the count is 2 balls and no strike with the runner on first, nobody out. But there are other times when I'm not willing to spend that much on a ticket. Coming sets Abbott, the 2-0. Check swing, but it's called a strike. A sweeper on the outside corner. The count is 2-1. John, we sit high up, usually on the first base side because of the sun. The third base side gets the sun. I like to see the field. We saw a streaker once. Oh, interesting. The 2-1 pitch. Hit to the right side, picked up by the first baseman who boots it. Nobody's covering first, and J.J. Witherall will reach, and everybody's safe. So Nathaniel Lau reached to his right, trying to get to the ball, but he booted it. Everybody is safe, and now the Cardinals have runners on first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. On top of that, Abbott wasn't covering, and Arroyo could not get over to first base in time to cover, even when Nathaniel Lau managed to pick up the ball. And Trevino's having a little word out on the mound there with Andrew Abbott. Warlord, never had the choice before. I've always sat at the middle or upper seats at Riverfront. Okay. I know for me, when I'm not willing to shell out that kind of money, at Yankee Stadium, they have what they call the main concourse. At the old Yankee Stadium, it was called the Loge. It's basically like the second middle deck, but it gives you a wonderful survey of the entire field. Right field side, left field side. I'm much more of a first base side myself in general. But I know with the Cardinals, they have something not dissimilar. The first pitch to Walker. A sweeper in the dirt out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Jordan Walker 0 for 2 with a pair of lineouts. That was the 80th pitch for Andrew Abbott. Runners on first and second, nobody out. It's a 1-0 count, all tied at 2, bottom of 5. The 1-0. A curveball down and in and well out of the zone. The count is 2-0. At a hockey game, center ice about halfway up. Baseball right behind the Cardinals dugout. Cheers to that, Roger. The 2-0. Strike, change up on the outer third above the knees. The count is 2-1. Now Abbott sets at the stretch. Runners lead off first and second. He deals. Swinging strike on the changeup down and away, and the count comes even at 2-2. Warlord, never been to Great American or other stadiums. I'd like to try seats near the field sometime. Maybe I'll watch the Springfield Cardinals and give it a try. It's a good place to look. Time is called by the home plate umpire. Amazingly, though, he is at bat, not by Jordan Walker. Jordan Walker this year with runners in scoring position, .325 with 11 home runs. Cummins sets Abbott, runners lead. He deals. And he hits it out there into shallow center field. Going back is the second baseman Arroyo. He makes the catch in shallow center field for the first out of the inning. So, a bit of a bloop out there. A nice catch by Arroyo, who, of course, is in substituting for the seemingly injured Steer. Now, here comes Ivan Herrera, last at bat. A solo home run that, at the time, gave the Cardinals a 2-1 lead. It's a lefty-righty matchup. Runners lead off first and second with one out, bottom of the 5th inning, all tied at 2. The first pitch. Strike, curveball on the outside corner, thigh high, and the count is 0-1. Harold, I remember I had seats at the 50 for Steelers-Rams back in the day at TWA. The 0-1. A changeup in the dirt, bounce out in front of home plate. The count is 1-1. And those are great seats. Back when it was the old TWA Dome. Funny, I was just talking about TWA last night with my wife. Cummins set is Abbott. The 1-1. Hit to the left side. Picked up there by the diving third baseman. Throws the second one. On to first. A double play. A 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. So, no runs, no hits, 2 walks, and 1 left on. After 5 full innings of play, we are all tied at 2 going to the top of the 6th inning here in the rubber match, the 3rd game of this 3-game weekend set. I'm Paul D, and if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action this afternoon here on Game Mike, you haven't done so already, you feel I've earned it, please do leave a like. It's helping this growing channel to continue to grow. Get out there to more Cardinals fans who are having all the trouble in the world right now, following the Cardinals day in and day out without spending a very pretty penny, in addition to figuring out where it's on. I call almost, underline almost, every Cardinal game here on Game Mike. And if you like what you've seen and heard so far, well, subscribe. We have a great time here. With that said, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike, all tied at 2 going to the top of the 6th inning. Due up for the Reds in the top of the 6th is going to be Suarez, Lau, and Myers. So 4, 5, and 6 in their order. Suarez is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Lau himself is 2 for 2, and Myers is 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Leahy so far, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. In addition to those 2 solo jobs, Leahy has thrown 87 pitches so far, 56 of them have been strikes. Let's see where Marmol goes with this. Oh, Brother Joe. The show of confidence. And now here's Kyle Leahy. He's out for his 6th frame. Stepping in is Suarez. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Surprisingly, Cardinals are middle of the pack as far as leaving runners in scoring position. I'm not surprised. The bottom half of that pack, at least most of it, is called the American League this year. Now, here comes Leahy. The first pitch to Suarez. Strike, sweeper on the inside corner, thigh high, and the count is 0-1. Now, the 0-1 offering. Shot foul down the third base side. Now to play on the sinker away, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. I'm glad you appreciate that one, Harold. Now, he winds the 0-2 to Suarez. A 4-seam fastball upstairs, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Behind the home team dugout, here's a pitch. Hit on out there into right field. Giving chase is Jordan Walker. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So Suarez is now 0 for 3. Nobody on with 1 out, top of the 6th inning, all tied at 2. Now here is Nathaniel Lau. He's 2 for 2 this afternoon. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. 91 pitches here for Kyle Leahy. He comes one. The first pitch to Lau. Strike, sweeper on the outside corner below the belt. And the count is 0-1. Chris, first time listening to you. Such a good commentator. Like and subscribe, people. Well, thank you so much, Chris. All I can say is I'm glad you found us, and I'm glad you're digging it so much. Thank you for the kind words. Leahy looks into Pages. He winds. He deals. Strike, sweeper, whispers over the black of the outside corner, thigh high, and the count is 0-2. So Leahy ahead of Lau here, 0-2. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the best of Lau, who proceeds to tighten his batting gloves. He steps back into the box, takes a couple of twirls of the bat. The 0-2 offering. A 4-seam fastball up and away, and the count is 1-2. Oh, does it now, Brother Joe? The 1-2 pitch. Head out there into right field. Going back is Jordan Walker. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So, Kyle Leahy gets Nathaniel Lau for the first time this afternoon. So, nobody on with 2 out, top of the 6th inning, all tied at 2. And with that said, with Brother Joe informing me here, thank you all so much. I believe that's 43 games in a row with over 100 likes. I cannot be grateful enough. Now, here is the righty Myers. He's 1 for 2. Righty-righty matchup, the first pitch. Fouled back, a sinker down Broadway. 94 miles an hour out of the right hand of Leahy, and the count is 0-1. Doge Bowl, let's get to 200 likes. No sweat required, peeps. Now there we go. He winds. He deals. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, says the home plate umpire. Doesn't even need to appeal on the sweeper away, and the count is 0-2, so Myers can't check his swing there. Leahy's ahead of him, 0-2. He winds. Pye setting up on the outside corner. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back on the sweeper away, and the count is still 0-2. Myers managed to get a piece of that thing, spoil it off. Next pitch is going to be the 99th for Leahy. You can see the waves of heat there in the background when they're focusing the camera on Leahy. Kind of cool. Now, the 0-2. Fouled on the check swing on the curveball away, and the count remains 0-2. Justin Beasley, 272 people watching. No reason we shouldn't get to 200 likes today. Justin Beasley doing Justin Beasley things. Luis Gastelum moving around there in that Cardinal bullpen, slowly getting loose. Leahy is back onto the bump. Once again, getting more of that rosin. He's going to have worn this thing out by the end of the day. Leahy looks in. He winds the 0-2. Chop foul down the third base side and out of play on the sweeper away. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Indeed. Will he turn into a pumpkin, Justin? I do not know. The 0-2. A four-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone, 94 miles an hour, and the count is 1-2. Now, I can safely say the grounds crew will have a whole bunch of fun getting that rosin bag loaded back up. The 1-2. Called strike 3. Sinker on the outer third at the D's. For the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks. Nobody left on. After 5.5 innings of play, we are all tied at 2 going to the bottom of the 6th inning here in the rubber match on Sunday Getaway Day. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. All tied at 2 going to the bottom of the 6th. Let's go to the chat. All right. Brian, congratulations on the streak. Where are you, Brian? I lost you there for a second. Glad to be part of a game. Brian, it's a pleasure to have you here as our guest. Something that all the regulars know and are very much on board with is we're all about having folks who are rooting for the opposing team. The only time it becomes an issue is when one of those folks come in here and acts like a jerk. And you're definitely not part of that crowd. No, folks who root for the other team, you can't help but respect it. And making positive, meaningful contributions in the chat, that's Game Mike to a T. This is open to all baseball fans or aspiring baseball fans, people learning about baseball. It's a very accommodating place. All right, yeah, let's see here. John Medley with all those baseball emojis. Go Reds, I see. King Louis. Let's get the W, Cardinals. Or King Lou Y, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, no, King Louis the 13th. Well, wouldn't we be on King Louis the 17th if we were talking about the Bourbon dynasty? Just a thought. Now, here comes Alec Burleson. He is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Andrew Abbott out there for his 6th frame. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike on the curveball down Broadway below the belt. The count is 0-1. Next pitch will be the 89th for Abbott. He deals. Foul down the third base side, now to play on the sweeper, and the count is 0-2. So we're all tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning here on the final match. The rubber match in the third game of this series. Tomorrow night they begin a 4-game series against the Cubs. The 0-2. A four-seam fastball well up and in, and the count is 1-2 strikes. Yeah, the Cardinals are hosting the Cubs for 4 starting tomorrow night. I believe that's at 6:45 p.m. Central Time. The 1-2. A four-seam fastball well up and in. Getting out of the way of that one was Burleson, and the count is 2-2. Second pitch in a row he's had to do that. Infield defense shaded towards right with the lefty Burleson. The 2-2. Fouled down the third base side and into the stands, and the count remains 2-2. Now Abbott comes set. He deals. Check swing on the curveball down and away. Did he go around? Yes, he did. So a strikeout there for Abbott for the first out. A check swing that couldn't be held by Burleson. So nobody on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now here comes Mason Wynn. 1 for 1 with a walk. He'll come up with nobody on with 1 out. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch from Abbott. Strike. Uncle Charlie outside corner below the belt. The count is 0-1. Mason Wynn a single and a walk. Now, the 0-1 offering. A four-seam fastball up and in, out of the zone. The count is 1-1 strike. 95 pitches for Abbott. Presumably, this is his last frame. He winds. He deals. Strike. Four-seam fastball in her third below the belt. And the count is 1-2 strikes. Yeah, the big red machine was something. Now, the 1-2 pitch. A changeup away and out of the zone, and the count is even at 2-2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning, all tied at 2. Abbott comes set. He winds. He deals. Hit on out there into right field. Going back is the right fielder right in front of the track. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So a fly out 9 for Mason Wynn. And the bases are empty with 2 out here at the bottom of the 6th. Okay, guys, what do you do for the 7th? Do you send him back out to the mound or go to the bullpen? Oh, no, they're going to go to the bullpen. They're going to go to Gastelum. He was already warming up, and he's over 100 pitches. And in this heat, they're going to yank him. The first pitch to Fairmean. Strike, curveball on the inside corner, thigh high, and the count is 0-1. Jose Fairmean has not had an official at-bat today. Here's the pitch. A sweeper down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Because he had that sacrifice fly that led to the RBI the first run of this game, and he walked in his last plate appearance. Abbott is now at 100 himself. The 1-1 offering, hit to the left side, picked up there on a hop at third. He throws to first in time to get Fairmean going down the line for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 6 full innings of play, it is all tied at 2 going to the top of the 7th inning. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my Call of Redbird action here on Game Mike this afternoon, and you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. You have my eternal gratitude for it, and it's helping out this channel more than you can know. Hitting that little like button of yours, boy, all the good that it does. Not just helping the channel, but getting it out to Cardinal fans who need help trying to follow this team day in and day out, and to baseball fans more generally. And 42, 43 games in a row of over 100, I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. And if you're not already subscribed and you're digging the experience, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you back. All tied at 2 going to the top of the 7th inning. Due up for the Reds in the top of the 7th is Marte Trevino and Hayes. So 7, 8, 9 in the Reds order, all tied at 2. Harold, I long for the days when baseball was played by manly men. I say that half jokingly. It's the age It's an age, I can say. We're living in an age. Well, I'd like to thank you all so much for spending part of your Sunday afternoon here with me at Game Mike. And something I like to point out, because he's doing such an exceptional job, give a round of applause for Justin Beasley and his very, very skillful handling of the score bug here. Doing an outstanding job. I can't thank him enough for it. So be sure to thank Justin Beasley, because he more than deserves it. What's this? Oh. Well, the closest guy to that in the game right now that's a starter is Cam Schlittler. They might end up seeing him in about a week and a half. Now here's Luis Gastelum, 7-inning pitch at 6.43 ERA. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch from Gastelum. A sweeper away, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. So Kyle Leahy, his final line, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. The 1-0. Strike, 4-seam fastball outer third at the knees. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. So Kyle Leahy, he's on a roll right now. You got to give him credit for that. Now here's the righty Marte. Gastelum sets the 1-1. A sweeper away and over the lefty batter's box. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Guys who could throw 220 innings. Yeah, those days are over. Happy Odag. Thank you to Justin Beasley for doing Justin Beasley things. Cheers to that. Here's the pitch. A sweeper misses away, ruled a ball. The count is 3-1 to Marte. Marte is 1 for 2 this afternoon. The pitching change is brought to you by Steve's Hot Dogs. Try the Paul D special today. The 3-1. There's a fly ball out to center field. Going back a couple of steps is Fairmean. He's under it, battling the sun. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So Gastelum comes in and gets Marte for the first out here at the top of the 7th. Andrew Abbott has 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Kyle Leahy, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. Andrew Abbott with 100 pitches, Kyle Leahy with 102. They both had a good showing. Righty-righty matchup. Here's Trevino. There's a fly ball out to right field. Giving chase is Walker coming in towards the line. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out there to Trevino for the second out. So there's nobody on with 2 out, top of the 7th inning. Now here comes the 9-hitter Hayes, who earlier today hit a solo home run that tied up this game. That was back in the 5th. Gastelum sets the first pitch to Hayes. 4-seam fastball misses the outside corner, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. They came in at 95 miles an hour. Warlord, thank you, Justin, for score bugging. The 1-0. A sweeper up and away and out of the zone from Gastelum. The count is 2-0. Gastelum is really doing his level best to try to carve out a role for himself in the Cardinal bullpen. Lord knows they have the opening. Goodness. He comes set. The 2-0. Strike. 4-seam fastball whispers over the black of the outside corner, thigh high, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Gastelum sets and deals. A changeup well out and away and over the lefty batter's box. The count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Once again, the camera focusing on High and Bloom in mid-conversation. Doesn't realize he's on television. Clearly in thoughtful conversation. The 3-1. Up and in, so ball 4. So Hayes works a 2-out walk, and the Reds have a runner on first with 2 out here in the top of the 7th inning. "11 pitches so far for Gastelum in relief of Kyle Leahy. Now here is Ellie De La Cruz batting from the left side against the righty Gastelum. He's 1 for 3. The first pitch, foul tipped off the face mask of the home plate umpire on the sweeper in. And he's just fine. He's all smiles at the moment. And the count is 0-1. Oh, yeah. That was flush on the face mask. Now, he's cool. Pies gave him a pat on the side there, make sure he's all right. Gastelum comes set. The 0-1 offering. Swinging strike on the changeup on the inner third. Swinging over the top of that one was De La Cruz. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. So Gastelum 1 strike away from ending this inning. But quite a challenge with De La Cruz at the plate. He comes set at the belt. Runner leads off first. The 0-2. A changeup away. Blocked very well there by Hayes. Hayes staying right there at first. Infield defense very much shaded towards right with De La Cruz, the switch hitter, hitting on the left side. He comes set. The 1-2 offering. Swinging strike 3. Down, hacking goes De La Cruz. For the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 walk, 1 left on. It is 7th inning stretch time down at Busch Stadium here on the western banks of the mighty Mississippi. All tied at 2 here in the rubber match. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. All tied at 2 going to the bottom of the 7th. Let's go to the chat. Okay. Let's see here. Catmandu. Great YouTube channel. Great job. Thank you. By the way, Reds fans here. Thank you so much, Catmandu. I really do appreciate it. You know, we're very open to fans from the other team that are cool. And anytime, I'm always deeply complimented anytime somebody pops up in the chat there and gives the old attaboy for what we're doing here on Game Mic. But when you hear from another team's fan, where, this is clearly a Cardinals-focused channel, that carries a lot of weight with me, and I do very much appreciate it. Sam Foreman. Good to see you, Sam. Besides the 2 homers, Leahy did his job. He sure did. Sure did. Due up for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 7th inning is Velasquez, Blaze Jordan, and Pedro Paje, 7, 8, 9 in the Cardinal order. Presumably, Tito is going to the pen here. It's hard to believe that he would send Abbott back out there for the 7th over 100 pitches, especially in this heat. But who knows? He might do it. Stranger things happen. All right, we're back here for the bottom of the 7th inning. Nice little establishing shot around the Musial statue out there. Anytime they want to come away from it. Now, here is the, let's see here. The righty Pierce Johnson, 35-year-old right-hander. In 33 games this year, he's 2-1 with a 5.28 ERA in 29 innings pitched, 26 strikeouts. Now here is Lars Nootbaar, righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch to Lars. A 4-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. He is pinch hitting for Nelson Velasquez. With Abbott out of the game, the righty hitting platoon there has done its job, or at least fulfilled its role in the lineup for the day. The 1-0 to Nootbaar. A curveball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. All tied at 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nobody on, nobody out. As I was mentioning earlier, Lars Nootbaar was pulled from last night's game after the bottom of the 6th inning due to feeling dizzy and experiencing dehydration. So, facing the left-hander, at least he could get part of a day off, is my guess is what Marmol was thinking. Coming set is Johnson, the 2-0. Strike, 4-seam fastball outer third below the belt, and the count is 2-1. Now, he comes set. The 2-1. Strike, curveball on the outside corner at the knees to Nootbaar, and the count is 2-2. L. Steven Goldblatt. Way to go. A Cardinal fan in Mallorca, Playa, Spain. Hey, joining us all the way from Europe. Thanks for joining us. The 2-2. A curveball in the dirt, and the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Excuse me, Mejacar Playa, Spain. My apologies, I read it too quickly. And congrats to Spain on the World Cup. Best team won. Cheers to that, John. Coming set is Johnson. He holds and deals. Ball 4, so Lars Nootbaar comes in, draws a leadoff pinch hit walk, and the Cardinals have a runner on first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Dans, I'm new here. Well, welcome, Dans. Now here's Blaze Jordan, righty-righty matchup. Johnson sets the first pitch. A curveball up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Blaze Jordan, first plate appearance, walked. His first official at-bat lined into a very strange double play where they doubled up Velasquez at first. Coming set is Johnson. Runner leads off first. The 1-0. There's a fly ball out into center field. Going back is the center fielder at the track. He makes the catch up against the National Car Rental side in left center for the first out of the inning. Going all the way back to first there was Lars Nootbaar. So Myers manages to track that one, fighting the sun, having to run a good long way there in order to get it right in front of the National Car Rental sign, which he briefly bumped into. So Blaze Jordan flies out 8 for the first out. Now here is Brian Torres. He is pinch hitting for Pedro Pajes, which presumably means Jimmy Crooks will come in as the defensive replacement for Pajes come the top of the 8th inning. And the pitching coach is running on out there to have a talk there with Johnson, as is Trevino. L. Steven Goldblatt, love your broadcast. Well, thank you so much. That really does mean the world to me. I really appreciate the kind words. All right, here comes Brian Torres. It'll make it a righty-lefty matchup. Brian Torres in 36 games this year, 216, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, 6 extra base hits. 29-year-old rookie, 11 years between the minors and the Independent Atlantic League. Coming set is Johnson, the first pitch. A curveball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Came in at 86 miles an hour. Torres tightens his batting gloves, gets back into the box. On deck is J.J. Weatherall. Runner leads off first with 1 out. Johnson sets at the belt. The 1-0 offering. Strike, curveball on the inner third at the knees. The count is 1-1. That was the 10th pitch for Johnson. He comes set. Nootbaar leads. The 1-1. A curveball up and away and well out of the zone. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. One thing I got to say for Brian Torres, he definitely makes himself useful. He has played the infield, the outfield. He's even done a little bit of pitching, as I recall. Coming sets Johnson, the 2-1. A curveball just missed at the outside corner. It's ruled a ball, and the count is 3-1. Oh, wow, that is a heck of a compliment, man. Mike Shannon is proud of you. I should be so lucky, my friend, but thank you. Coming set is Johnson, the 3-1. Fouled down the third baseline and out of play. Keeping the spirit alive. Saw Cards win the World Series 64 and 82. Now you are a well-tenured veteran of the St. Louis Cardinals in terms of being a fan. Thank you so much for tuning in. Johnson comes set. And he steps off the rubber. Having some trouble getting on the same page with Trevino. Newbar is standing on first following his leadoff walk. So runner on first with one out, bottom of the seventh inning, all tied at 2. It's a 3-2 count. Coming set is Johnson. He deals. Hit to the right side, picked up by the second baseman Arroyo. He throws to first in time to get Brian Torres. Moving up to second on the play is Lars Nootbaar. So Brian Torres grounds out 4-3, and the Cardinals have a runner on second with 2 out. And here comes J.J. Weatherholt. Weatherholt is 0 for 3 this afternoon with a strikeout. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. 14 pitches so far for Pierce Johnson. We're all tied at 2 here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Johnson comes set. He deals. Chop foul and off of the lower body of Weatherholt. And the count is 0-1. Well tenured. 72, dude. Cheers. Now Johnson comes set. He holds. He deals. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by the first baseman. Takes it to the bag himself for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 walk, 1 left on. After 7 full innings of play, all tied at 2, going to the top of the 8th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. All tied at 2, going to the top of the 8th. All right. Well, can't take advantage of that leadoff walk, and then with a runner in scoring position and 2 out, we proceed forward. Due up for the Reds in the top of the 8th inning is going to be Arroyo, who, of course, pinch hit for Steer mid-at-bat. He gets plugged in at second, followed by J.J. Bleday and Eugenio Suarez. 2, 3, and 4 in the Cincinnati order. So we got ourselves a tight one here, getting late. This has actually been a relatively quick game. I believe it's about 2 hours. I would say 2 hours, a little under 5 minutes old at this point. Going into that top of the 8th inning. The pitching so far has generally been very solid. I know we've seen 3 home runs, all of which are the solo variety. Hey, John Medley, I'm glad you're excited, but slow your roll a bit there, partner. CCSY, Nolan Gorman dingers for Memphis. Did Carlos Beltran get a World Series ring with the Cardinals? No, he didn't. I believe he came in either 2012 or 2013, as I recall. Now, here is Ryan Stanek in 44 games, 39 and a third innings pitched, a 4.58 ERA, a whip of 1.47, 9.84 Ks per 9. Everybody here has just begun sitting on their hands and holding their breath. Righty-lefty matchup against the lefty Arroyo. Here's the pitch. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball. The count is 0-1. Well, thank you so much, Jackson. I really do appreciate that. I do what I can. It's Stanek's birthday. Oh, wow. The 0-1. Hit to the right side. Picked up there at first by Burleson. Covering is Stanek. He beats the runner to the bag. Pulling in the toss throw from Burleson for the first out of the inning. Well, CCSY, hopefully that pans out. And as mentioned in the bottom of the seventh inning, when Brian Torres pinch hit for Pedro Pages, out in behind the plate, the defensive replacement is Jimmy Crooks. So he is now behind the dish. The first pitch from Stanek Hit on up the middle, picked up there by Mason Wynn behind second. He throws to first in time to get Blade for the second out of the inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out there. Blade bounces out 6-3 for the second out. Now here comes Eugenio Suarez. He's 0 for 3 this afternoon. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. He is the 4-hitter here for Cincinnati today. Now the first pitch of Suarez. Strike, 4-seam fastball, whispers over the black of the outside corner thigh high, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Nobody on with 2 out, top of the 8th inning. Cummins sets Stanek, the 0-1. A sinker just misses the inside corner above the knees. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Eugenio Suarez, a couple of strikeouts swinging and a foul out. Stanek sets at the Birds. He deals. A splitter down and away. Laying off that one is Suarez, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Cheers to that, Jeff. Cummins set is Stanek, the 2-1. A sinker inside ruled a ball, and the count is 3-1. All tied at 2 here in the top of the 8th inning. Infield defense slightly shaded towards left, playing back. The 3-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the 4-seam fastball down and away. 98 miles an hour to the right hand of Stanek. And the count is full. Nobody on, 2 out, top of the 8th inning, all tied at 2. It's a 3-2 count here against Eugenio Suarez. Cummins set Stanek, the 3-2. Hit to the left side, picked up by Blaze Jordan on the ground, wide of third. He throws to first just in time to get Suarez for the 3rd and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. The Reds, they go down in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, all tied at 2. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All tied at 2 going to the bottom of the 8th. Let's go to the chat. Harold, now that's commitment. Zach, gold star for you. Okay. Rush Dash. Hi, everybody. Hey, Rush Dash. How are things up in St. Charles? Or when I lived there, I like to call it either San Carlos or Canonized Charlie, depending on how jovial I was feeling at the time. Let's get some run, boys. Well, we can only hope, Jeff. Edgar, I don't like quick games unless Cardinals win the game. Yeah, I have to tend to agree that while the shortened game time overall, pitch clock, things of that nature, have very well shortened the game and it has a wider appeal, I could sit and watch baseball all afternoon. Rush Dash. They're great, except it's crazy hot. You know it. Punishing out there. Downright oppressive. Now, due up for the Redbirds in the bottom of the 8th inning is Jordan Walker, followed by Ivan Herrera and Alec Burleson. Jordan Walker's 0 for 3. Ivan Herrera is 1 for 3. And Burleson is 1 for 3 with a run scored. He struck out a couple of times. Herrera got himself a solo job all the way back in the bottom of the 3rd. Now here is to Jay Antone. 31 games, 31 in the 3rd innings pitch, a 2.30 ERA and a whip of 0.93, 7.76 Ks per 9, a 51.1% ground ball rating. He got the save on, well, I don't know if it was, he got the save on Friday night. Righty-righty matchup. Now the first pitch. A sweeper upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Jordan could be a home run slumping because of the home run derby. It's possible. Now Antone comes set. The 1-0. Hit to the left side, picked up by the 3rd baseman. He throws to first, and it's actually ruled a foul ball. They played the whole thing out, but it was a foul ball, and the count is 1-1. Charlie. Hey, Paul. Charlie is in the house. Let's go, Redbirds. Keep swinging those bats small ball all day, baby. Let's do it. It's good to see you, Charlie. Common sense, Antone. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th, all tied at 2. The 1-1. Hit foul on the sweeper in behind home plate. The count is 1-2. Antone gets back onto the bump. As I mentioned earlier, Walker is 0 for 3 this afternoon. Antone steps off. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker. Everybody take a drink. Antone sets above the belt. The 1-2 offering. A sweeper well away and over the lefty batter's box, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, Antone comes set. The 2-2. Foul down the first base side and out of play on the sweeper, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, Antone comes set. The 2-2 offering. Swinging strike 3. Down, hacking goes Jordan Walker on the sinker up for the first out of the inning. So Antone comes in relief, gets himself a strikeout of Jordan Walker, and the bases are empty with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We are all tied at 2 here in the rubber match. Now here comes Ivan Herrera. A strikeout looking, a solo home run, and he grounded out into a double play. Common sets Antone. The first pitch. Strike, sweeper on the outside corner above the knees. The count is 0-1. They came in at 85 miles an hour. Now he sets. He deals. Foul down the first base side and out of play on the cutter away. And the count is 0-2. Some very happy fans out there on the right field side managing to get their hands on a foul ball from Herrera. Taking a picture with his girlfriend, and she was holding it. And then he gives it away to a kid. How cool is that? The 0-2. Hit to the left side and picked up there on a line by De La Cruz for the second out of the inning. So Ivan Herrera lines out 6 for the second out. Very soon, I'm going to tell you a story about July 20th, 1998. Single admission doubleheader. First game went 17 innings. It was at Yankee Stadium. They were facing the Tigers. They split the doubleheader. Here is Burleson, the first pitch. Fouled straight back on the cutter in. The count is 0-1. And in that very long first game, we were sitting at field level behind home plate. I forget who hit the foul ball, but it landed a couple of section over. And this adult, I think was probably partially intoxicated, wrestled the ball away from a kid. I get to the best part in a moment. Coming set Antone, the 0-1. Strike, sweeper on the outside corner, thigh high, and the count is 0-2. And initially he was refusing to give it back. However, the section they were in, then the neighboring section, proceeded to all get up. I'll get to the moment. He comes set, the 0-2. A sinker up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. Nobody on, 2 out. Bottom of the 8th inning, all tied at 2. And for the next 5 minutes, more and more aggressively started chanting, "Give the kid the ball. Give the kid the ball." And I think this guy realized for his own longevity, coming sets Antone, the 1-2 to Burleson. Spoiled off on the sweeper down and in. The count is 1-2. That if he wanted to leave Yankee Stadium that night in one piece, he was going to give that ball to that kid that he wrestled it away from. And that is the completion of story time for the moment. Now Antone comes set. The 1-2 offering. Hit to the right side and booted by the first baseman into right field for a base hit. Picking it up out there is the right fielder. So Burleson manages to reach first with 2 out. I have to imagine that will end up being scored in error. as that is very much a play that any first baseman in the major leagues most certainly should make. Yeah, the hop on that one just absolutely ate up Lau. So a runner on first with 2 out. Now here is Mason Wynn, righty-righty matchup. The first pitch, a sweeper down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Justin Beasley, story time brought to you by Red Bull. Red Bull, it gives you wings. Thank you, Justin. Runner leads. It's a 1-0 count. Antone sets. The 1-0 pitch. Strike. Sweeper on the inner third. Thigh high to Mason Wynn. The count is 1-1. Mason Wynn is 1 for 2 this afternoon. Walked in an at-bat. Or rather, in a plate appearance. Now, looking in is Antone. Burleson leads off first. He comes set. The 1-1. A sinker up and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. L. Steven Goldblatt. Great story, dude. Well, thank you. I thought it was appropriate there, just given the way things transpired. Now, Antone comes set. The 2-1. Hit on up the middle into center field and in for a base hit. Picking it up out there is Myers. And now the Cardinals have runners on first and second with 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So a nice bit of 2 out hitting there by Mason Wynn. And now here comes Jose Fermin, who's 0 for 1 with an RBI sac fly earlier and a walk. With July 20th coming and going the other day, it has been a little over 28 years since that game occurred. Now, coming sets Antone. The first pitch of Fermin. Sweeper strike, outside corner thigh high. And the count is 0-1. Runners on first and second with 2 out. Bottom of the 8th inning, all tied at 2. Infield defense shaded towards left with the righty Fermin at the plate. Antone comes set. Runners lead. The 0-1. And it's called a ball. A sinker on the outside corner below the belt. However, it's being challenged by Trevino, so we have an ABS challenge incoming. And it's indeed a strike. Just clipped that little bit of the inside corner below the belt. And the count is now 0-2. Oh, I was talking about Citi Field there, JoJo. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled off on the sweeper down and away. The count is 0-2. Old Yankee Stadium. You mean in Old Yankee Stadium? Yes, that was in Old Yankee Stadium. About a decade before the last season, and then the new one opened up in 2009. Time is called by the home plate umpire. So after that challenge, the Reds still retain one of theirs. Cardinals have both of theirs allotted in regulation. Runners on first and second. It's an 0-2 count. Common sets Antone. He deals. A sweeper down and away and in the dirt. The count is 1-2. A fireman carried by sleeping grandpa out of Busch Stadium after a 17-inning game with the Pirates. I was young and unmarried, but could have been married after that night. Oh, well, thank you, John. I like to throw those in there from time to time. Runners lead off first and second. Antone sets. He deals. And he just gets a piece of that sweeper on the inner third. Does Fermin. The count remains 1-2. It looks like it went into the dugout. Something has Tito Francona's attention. I have no idea what it is yet. Maybe catcher interference? I can't tell. And indeed, it looks like they're calling catcher interference here, if I'm understand it correctly. And indeed, it looks like it is, but it looks like they're going to challenge that call of catcher interference. That's what Francona was going on about. So we have a play under official review, so they go to the off-site replay center, much like NASA Mission Control, except better funded. Let's see here. Oh, that's definitely catcher interference. This shouldn't take them more than 2 seconds to figure that out. So presumably the Cardinals will have the bases loaded, and Call is overturned. It looks like catcher interference. Braylon Beasley with the $5 super. Hey, Paul, how are you doing? I'm having a great afternoon, Braylon. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the $5 super. And Tito is going to the pen. He is going to Burke. With the bases loaded and 2 out to face Lars Nootbaar. So Francona's going for the lefty-lefty matchup. All right. So we have ourselves a pitching change. Oh, boy. So the bases are loaded with 2 out. Due up for the Cardinals here after the pitching change is Lars Nootbaar. So he's going for the lefty-lefty matchup, no doubt. Antone went 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, and a strikeout. Brock Burke, the 29-year-old left-hander, in 52 games in 2026. He's 3-4 with a 2.74 ERA in 49 1/3 innings pitched, 41 strikeouts in that span, and a whip of 1.34. So Lars Nootbaar coming up in a huge situation here with the game tied. So we got ourselves the bases loaded. Braylon, doing good. Just got done helping my sister pick up a new bed. Whipping the U-Haul is fun. That is a rite of passage, Braylon. All right. So the lefty Burkeson just gave you his numbers a moment ago. He'll face Lars Nootbaar. Lars Nootbaar, in his first plate appearance, walked. He pinch hit for Nelson Velasquez after Andrew Abbott was pulled. Bases loaded, 2 out. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Coming set is Burke. The first pitch to Newt. Strike, sinker on the outer third, thigh high, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. That came in at 92 miles an hour, the left-handed Burke. Lars Nootbaar is 303 in his career with the bases loaded, 27 RBIs. The pond is full of ducks, Thurman. Coming set. Here's a pitch. Swinging strike on the 4-seam fastball down Broadway. Pulling off that one slightly was Nootbaar, and the count is 0-2. So Burke comes set. He deals. A 4-seam fastball ruled a ball, just missed the outside corner, and the count is 1-2. Now Burke sets. He deals. Foul down the third base line, but giving chase to the left fielder. It looks like it's going to stay in play. He makes the catch out in left field against the stands in foul territory for the third and final out of the inning. The Cardinals strand the bases loaded, and we go to the top of the 9th inning, all tied at 2. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my Call of Redbird action this afternoon, you haven't done so already, and you feel I deserve it, please do leave a like. It's helping the channel continue to grow. That little like button there on your screen does more good for this channel than you can imagine. In addition to the added benefit of the algorithm pushing it out to more Cardinal fans who needs all the help they can get at the moment following the Cardinals from day to day. And Lord knows I appreciate it if you do. And if you're not already subscribed and you're digging the experience, hit subscribe. This place is a barrel of monkeys. A lot of fun. We'd love to have you. With that said, all tied at 2, going to the top of the 9th inning. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. Hey, Scott Reed in the house. Which is to say, Biloxi, ... Never too late to get here, ... Go Cardinals. Well, thank you so much, L. Stephen Goldblatt. I do appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm glad you made yourself known here today. It's always cool to see somebody who's tuning in from overseas. Oh, well, that's a heck of a compliment. Harold Houseman with the $2 Super Bombers game mic with Big Paul D is where it's at. Oh, thank you so much, Harold. 1 for your generosity, 2 for the extremely kind words. It's both appreciated and it's very helpful. I thank you, Harold. Sure words were never spoken, Justin. So, due up in the top of the 9th inning for the Reds is Lau, who steps to the plate. There's a fly ball into left field. Charging in is Nootbaar. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. And in relief of Stanek is George Soriano. In 46 games, 45 and a third innings pitch, a 3.57 ERA, a whip of 1.10, 8.14 Ks per 9, 43% ground ball rate for George Soriano. 1 pitch, 1 out. Now here's the center fielder, Myers. He's 1 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. On deck is Marte. Nobody on with 1 out. Top of the 9th, all tied at 2. It'll be a righty-righty matchup here with the righty Myers stepping into the box. Soriano, he comes set at the belt. The first pitch to Myers. A 4-seam fastball up and in, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Sinbin. Hello, Paul D. Go Cardinals. Howdy, Sinbin. Welcome back. Good to see you. Now, Soriano sets. The 1-0 offering. Strike. Slider in the inner third below the belt to Myers, and the count is 1-1. Now, he comes set. The 1-1. Foul tipped and rolls over towards the Reds on deck circle, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's a 1-2 count. Myers is back into the box. He comes set at the belt. The 1-2. A 4-seam fastball well upstairs, and the count is 2-2. Sinbin. Hope you're doing well, Paul. Well, thank you so much, Sinbin. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Having fun here. Soriano sets. And he deals. A changeup just a bit too high on the inner third, and the count comes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now, Soriano sets. The 3-2. Foul down the first base side and out of play. Soriano sets the 3-2. Fouled off down the first base side and out of play. Nobody on with 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning, all tied at 2. It's a 3-2 count here to the center fielder, Myers. Soriano sets at the belt. Now the 3-2 offering. Called strike 3, a sweeper down Broadway. Down he goes looking for the second out of the inning. So Soriano gets a fly out to left and a strikeout for the first 2 outs. Now here comes the right fielder, Marte. He's 1 for 3 this afternoon. Now Soriano comes set. He deals. Foul tipped on the slider just on the end of the bat. Getting a piece of that is Marte, and the count is 0-1. Now Soriano sets. The 0-1 offering. Swinging strike over the slider away by Marte, and the count is 0-2. So George Soriano 1 strike away from sending this to the bottom of the 9th inning. We are all tied at 2 here in this 3rd game, the rubber match. Soriano looks in. He comes set at the belt. The 0-2 pitch. Hit on up the middle. Picked up well wide of second by J.J. Weatherall. He throws to first, not in time. It actually gets away from Alec Burleson, but Marte's staying right there at first. So I guess you can call that an infield single, despite the fact he fielded it in shallow center field, did Weatherall. And now the Reds have a runner on first with 2 out here in the top of the 9th inning. Now we have a pinch hitter here for the catcher Trevino, in the person of the primary catcher, Tyler Stevenson. So we have a pinch hitter here with a runner on first with 2 out here in the top of the 9th, all tied at 2. Stevenson this year in 249 official at-bats is hitting .245, 8 home runs, 28 RBIs, an OPS of .715. So Soriano gets back on the bump. 12 pitches so far for him. Oh, you're related to Q-Man. He can't use his computer. Hopes it's fixed next month. Send him my personal best, Jeff. He is a first citizen here at Game Mike. Comments at Soriano. Runner leads off first. Here's the pitch. A sweeper misses the outside corner, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. Stevenson gets back onto the box. Coming set is Soriano. The 1-0 offering. Strike, slider on the outside corner, thigh high, and the count is 1-1. No, Q-Man is very, very well liked here. What a great guy. Brings so much to the table. Now the 1-1. Foul tipped on the changeup away, and the count is 1-2 strikes to the pinch hitter Stevenson, who in pinch hitting for Trevino will be his defensive substitution whenever we get to the bottom of the 9th, whatever the situation may be. Now he comes set to Soriano. The 1-2. Swinging strike 3. Down, hack, and goes Stevenson. For the 3rd and final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no walks, 1 left on. It's all tied at 2 going to the bottom of the 9th here in the rubber match, the 3rd game of this 3-game weekend set on the western banks of the mighty Mississippi. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All tied at 2 going bottom of 9. Sweet music indeed, David Hodge. Brother Joe, let's go Cardinals. We need this win. So true. Jord, Soriano executed when needed. True enough. Jeff Coleman with the $1 super. Thank you again so much, Jeff Coleman. You have more than punched your ticket for admission, and I am immensely grateful for it. Thank you. John Harding, hey, Paul, we're going to win this game. Let's get a run now, bottom of the 9th. We shall see. Due up for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 9th inning is Blaze Jordan, followed by Jimmy Crooks, and then back to the top of the order with J.J. Weatherall. So 8, 9, and 1 in the Cardinal order in the bottom of the 9th inning. This has been a very tight affair. Agreed, Justin Beasley, agreed. So we await the bottom of the 9th inning. Still showing Burke is in the game, but we'll see where Francona takes this. Another beautiful establishing shot. Looks like at the St. Louis Botanical Gardens. My wife really wants to take me there, and I really want to go. All right, we're back for the bottom of the 9th inning. Stepping into the box is Blaze Jordan. He's 0 for 2 with a walk today. On deck is Jimmy Crooks. It'll be his first at-bat. It's going to be a lefty-righty matchup with Burke out there for his second frame. The first pitch to Blaze Jordan. Chop foul down the third base side. Now to play on the slider. The count is 0-1. A walk, a line out into a double play, and a foul out for Blaze. He's 0 for 2. Burke comes set. He deals. Foul down the first base side. Now to play on the changeup away. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Last game, 63 season, Old Busch Stadium. Musial, last game. Pete Rose, first appearance, got both autographed on scorecard. That's incredible. Now, the 0-2. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by the third baseman. Takes it to the bag himself for the first out of the inning. So Blaze Jordan bounces out 3 for the first out. And here comes the lefty, Jimmy Crooks, for his first at-bat. On deck is J.J. Weatherall. Nobody on with 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning, all tied at 2. Jimmy Crooks is hitting 184, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs in 31 games, a 621 OPS. A lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Hit on out there to left field, going over is Blade, and it goes just foul. Counts 0-1. Welcome back, Ethan. Crooks gets back into the box. Burke is back up on the hill. Gets a bit of the rosin himself. Ollie Marmol has shown him at the top step of the dugout with a somewhat quizzical expression on his face. Infield defense shaded to his right with the lefty Crooks. The 0-1 pitch. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball up and in. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. He chopped firewood for over 8 hours now, was sent to bed, got 2 months done. He is a total workhorse. He talks about his farm here from time to time out in Dixon. Now, Burke comes set. The 0-2. A four-seam fastball well upstairs, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hey, Corey, good to see you. Great Sunday call by Paul D. Go get him, Cards. Good to see you, Corey. Burke comes set. The pitch. Swinging strike 3. A four-seam fastball upstairs. Down hacking goes Jimmy Crooks for the second out of the inning. Now here comes J.J. Weatherall with the bases empty and 2 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. We are all tied at 2 here in the rubber match. A strikeout, a lined out, a fielder's choice, and a ground out for J.J. Lefty-lefty matchup. Burke comes set. The first pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball outside corner at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Well, Senbuck, I'm glad you found it, and I'm glad you're digging it. Cheers to Nashville. Burke comes set. The 0-1 offering. A sinker up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Love us some Nashville indeed, Jeff. Now Burke comes set. The 1-1. Swinging strike on the sinker on the outer third. Swung underneath that one did J.J. Weatherall. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Infield defense slightly shaded towards right, playing back almost against the outfield grass. The 1-2 offering. Swinging strike 3 on the cheddar there from Burke for the third and final out of the inning. Bonus Cantos, free baseball. We're all tied at 2 going into extra innings. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. All tied at 2, going to extras. Well, who didn't see this coming? A very tight game. And it looks like there's actually a really cool bobblehead night coming up. Actually, it's 2 for the price of 1. It is Jack Buck and Joe Buck sitting behind a studio desk with microphones in front of them. I didn't see the date on it, but it's actually a really cool bobblehead. You know, something that I've noticed that the Cardinals do historically well, certainly my own experience, is they have the best promotional giveaway days in all of baseball, bar none. They do a tremendous job with that. And right now, I think that's probably, you know, a commercially tactful endeavor that they do. They want to be able to increase that gate as much as possible. So I'd like to thank you all so much for spending part of your Sunday afternoon with me here on Game Mike. We're all tied at 2. We're going to the 10th inning. Due up for the Reds is Hayes, De La Cruz, and Arroyo, 9, 1, and 2 in their order. And Ollie Marmol is going to the 27-year-old right-hander Matt Sponson. In 39 games this year, he's 2-2 with a 6.86 ERA and 42 innings pitched. 40 strikeouts in that span and a whip of 1.69. He will face Sal Stewart, who's coming in to pinch hit for Hayes. So he gets to face the other top contender for NL Rookie of the Year. Sal Stewart, 22 years of age and 395 at-bats this year. He's hitting .251 with 21 home runs, 75 RBIs, 11 stolen bases, a .795 OPS. Coming set is Sponson, the first pitch. A sinker up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. So there is the ghost runner down at second. That's how extra innings works now. Now, coming set is Sponson, the 1-0. Gets away from Jimmy Crooks on the sweeper away. The runner goes down to third. And Jimmy Crooks, you know, these pass balls, especially in these kind of situations, they definitely wear on you after a while. It's a 2-0 count. Yep, that was definitely one he should have caught. I mean, it was not a good pitch. Now the 2-0. Strike, sinker on the outer third above the knees. The count is 2-1 to Sal Stewart. Now Sponson comes set. The 2-1. A cutter just misses the outside corner. It's ruled a ball, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Infield defense playing just about even with the Bags. They get a ground ball right to them. They want to be able to cut the runner down at home. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Stewart, who briefly steps out of the box. He gets himself back in. It's a 3-1 count. Sponson sets and deals. Fouled straight back. And Sponson loses his bat on the foul tip there. Goes flying. Luckily, it did not hit anybody. The bat boy landed about right in front of him. He brings it back to Sal Stewart. And the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So there's a runner on third with nobody out. The ghost runner that originally started at second, as is the custom now in Major League Baseball outside of the playoffs and World Series. He leads off third. Now, Sponson comes set. He deals. Hit on out there in the right field and in for a base hit. Picked up by Jordan Walker, scoring easily as the runner from third, and that will give the Reds a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 10th inning. An RBI single to right by Sal Stewart has broken up the stalemate. A stalemate that's existed since the top of the 5th inning. So Matt Sponson comes in, gives it up here. Now here is Ellie De La Cruz, switch hitter, bidding left-handed against the righty Swanson. Here's the pitch. A sweeper up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. There's a runner on first, nobody out. Top of the 10th inning. 3-2 Cincinnati. Sal Stewart manages to get the ghost runner in. Swanson comes set. The 1-0. Hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. Picked up there by Jordan Walker. And now the Reds have runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the 10th inning. A nifty bit of hitting there by De La Cruz on the pitch in. And now Swanson most definitely has to find a way to limit this damage. Give the Cardinals a shot in the bottom of the 10th. Now Swanson sets. He deals. The sinker down and in, showing bunt, pulling back was Arroyo, and the count is 1-0. Infield defense playing in at the corners. Middle infield slightly shaded towards right in modified double play depth. Swanson bluffs back towards second. Stevenson was not going anywhere. There wasn't even anybody covering the bag. He looks in. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Top of the 10th inning. One already in. It's a 3-2 Cincinnati lead. Coming set is Swanson. He deals. Showing bunt. And he puts down a brilliant bunt. Picked up there by the third baseman. He throws to first in time to get Arroyo for the first out of the inning. But he does his job with the sacrifice bunt. Both runners move up 90 feet, and now the Reds have runners on second and third with one out here in the top of the 10th inning. So Arroyo puts down a very deft bunt there. And now here comes Ollie Marmol, so he's going to be going to the pen. Let's see who he's choosing out of the clown car. It's Justin Brule, the left-hander, who's going to be facing the left-hand hitting J.J. Bleday. So we have ourselves a pitching change. Swanson goes to the showers. Not a good look for him. Now, Justin Brule has had his moments in 2026. The 29-year-old left-hander in 44 games this year has a 0-0 record, an ERA of 3.88, 48 and 2/3 innings pitched, 33 strikeouts in that span, and a whip of 1.38. And he is in quite a spot here at the moment, coming into this ball game, facing the lefty Bleday. On deck is Eugenio Suarez, the DH this afternoon. What's going on here? Oh, okay. Got it. Understood. Yeah, seriously, calm down, folks. So we're awaiting Justin Brule to finish his warm-up tosses. When we resume play, there'll be runners on second and third with one out, one already in for the Reds here in the top of the 10th inning. They have a 3-2 lead. All right, we are back to the action here in the top of the 10th inning. Gave you the numbers on Brule just a moment ago. Stepping into the box is Bleday. Bleday is 0 for 3 with a walk. Lefty-lefty matchup. The first pitch from Brule. Foul down the third base side. Now to play on the sinker down and in. And the count is 0-1. Back onto the bump is Brule. He comes set above the belt. Runners lead, the 0-1. Foul tipped on the sweeper away, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. So, Brule comes in here. He's ahead of Blade, 0-2. Runners still stand on second and third. Blade, with runners in scoring position this year, is hitting .206. Brule comes set. Right above the belt. The 0-2 offering. Hit to the left side and foul on the sweeper. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Brule is back onto the bump. Infield defense playing up against the grass. The 0-2. Swinging strike 3. Down goes Blade. Hacking for the second out of the inning. So Justin Brule comes in and does exactly what is expected of him here. With the lefty-lefty matchup, he gets Blade swinging, and that's the second out. And they are now intentionally walking Eugenio Suarez, and now the bases are loaded with Nathaniel Lau at the plate. Makes sense. Ali Marmot wants another lefty-lefty matchup here with Lau. Coming set is Brule. The first pitch to Lau. Hit to the right side and foul, and the count is 0-1. That was on a sweeper. The count is 0-1. So the bases are loaded with 2 out here in the top of the 10th inning. 3-2 Reds. It's an 0-1 count. 1 in here. They got the ghost runner in. Runners lead. Now Brule comes set. He deals. Hit on out there into shallow left field and in for a base hit. At least 1 run scores. Booted up there. Can't get a handle on it is Nootbaar. And that will give the Reds a 5-2 lead. A 2 RBI, 2 out single to left by Lau, and Cincinnati has a 5-2 lead. They have runners on first and second with 2 out. And that was actually a very fine piece of hitting by Lau. That pitch was well in. He managed to inside out the swing. And then, of course, Nootbaar couldn't get the handle on it on the transfer from the leather to the hand. 5-2 Cincinnati here in the top of the 10th inning. Runners on first and second. Now here's the righty Myers. Here's the pitch. Sweeper strike, inner third thigh high, and the count is 0-1. Now Brule comes set above the belt. The 0-1. A changeup in the dirt blocked very well there by Jimmy Crooks, and the count is 1-1. Both runners staying right where they are. Myers is 1 for 4 this afternoon in the 6th hole out in center field. Brule sets above the belt. He's at the stretch. The pitch. Hit out there to right field. Going back a few steps is Walker in front of the wall. He makes the catch right in front of the State Farm side in right field for the 3rd and final out of the inning. However, the Reds, they put up a crooked number. They put up a 3 spot, and they have a 5-2 lead going to the bottom of the 10th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. 5-2 Cincinnati going to the bottom of the 10th. Let's go to the chat. All right. Great call, bad game. It's not looking great here at the moment, admittedly. And thank you. So we await the bottom of the 10th inning. They will, of course, have the ghost runner out there at second to start things out. Leading off is going to be Jordan Walker, followed by Ivan Herrera and Alec Burleson. Jordan Walker is 0 for 4 this afternoon with a strikeout. Herrera is 1 for 4 with that solo home run and a strikeout. And Burleson is 2 for 4 with a run scored and a pair of strikeouts. Now, Tito Francona is going to the 31-year-old right-hander, Julian Garcia. In 10 games this year, he's 1-2 with a 3.14 ERA and 14 in the third innings pitched. 15 strikeouts in that span and a whip of 0.91. He will try to nail the save down here for the Reds in the bottom of the 10th inning. And he'll start off facing Jordan Walker, who in this game is certainly due. And we are back for the bottom of the 10th inning. Gave you the numbers on Garcia just a moment ago. John Wilms with a $10 super. I give for those who can't, but appreciate the show. I do have to go, but I and all of us appreciate you and crew and chatters greatly. Thank you so much, John. That's remarkably appreciated. You did the same thing last night as the game was closing out, and I can't thank you enough. The ghost runner down at second is in the person of J.J. Weatherall. Now, Garcia sets in the box is Jordan Walker, the first pitch. A sweeper strike, outer third, thigh high, and the count is 0-1. 5-2 Cincinnati here in the bottom of the 10th. They put up a 3 spot in the top of the 10th. Coming set at the belt is Garcia. The 0-1. Check swing on the sweeper way. Did he go around? Yes, says Blue down the first baseline, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Major League Baseball is really focusing in on that breaking ball down and away to Jordan Walker. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker. Everybody take a drink. Count is 0-2. Now, Garcia comes set. Weatherall leads off second. The pitch. Hit to the left side. Picked up there deep in the hole by De La Cruz. He throws to first on a hop, and he gets Jordan Walker just in time for the first out of the inning. An outstanding play there by Ellie De La Cruz. He probably got Jordan Walker by quarter of a step. Let's see it here. He went deep into the hole. He was throwing from shallow left field. Managed to get to first on a hop. I mean, really just an incredible play. A very, very close call there at first. But he is indeed out. Now here is Ivan Herrera. He's 1 for 4 with a solo home run. Righty-righty matchup. Runner leads off second. The first pitch. Four-seam fastball well upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Garcia looks in. He comes set. The pitch. A sweeper up and in, just misses the zone. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. Runner on second, 1 out. Bottom of the 10th inning, 5-2 Cincinnati. Garcia comes set. He deals. Strike, four-seam fastball, outer third, thigh high, and the count is 2-1. Herrera gets back into the box. Garcia sets. Weatherall leads off second. He deals. Fouled straight back on the sweeper down Broadway. Just missed that thing. And the count is 2-1. So the Cardinals are trying to mount some kind of rally here. Garcia is not making it easy for him. He comes set. He deals. Hit foul down the first base side, now to play. The count is 2-2. That's a fair point, Doge Bowl. Now, Garcia sets. He deals. Hit to the left side and past a diving De La Cruz into left field for a base hit. And that will put runners on first and third with 1 out following the single to left by Ivan Herrera. And here comes Alec Burleson. Burleson is 2 for 4 this afternoon with a run scored and a couple of strikeouts. He will face Garcia. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Burleson gets into the box. He deals. Swinging strike on the sweeper down and in. Swinging over the top of that one was Burleson. The count is 0-1. A double, a pair of strikeouts swinging, and a single in his previous at-bat back in the 8th. Runners lead off first and third with 1 out. It's an 0-1 count. Garcia sets. He deals. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count is 0-2 on the sweeper in. It's an 0-2 count, so Garcia is ahead of Burleson here, 0-2. He represents the tying run at the plate. Garcia comes set at the belt. He deals. Hit to the right side and foul on the sweeper down and in. So Garcia keeps going back to that sweeper down and in. 12 pitches so far. He gets back into the box. Coming set is Garcia. The 0-2. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play on the sweeper down and in. Now the question is here, with all these sweepers down and in, do they try and set him up away? I cannot read the mind of Stevenson, but we shall see. Garcia comes set. He deals. A four-seam fastball well up and away and out of the zone. It's a 1-2 count. Infield defense playing back, slightly shaded towards right. Runners on first and third. The 1-2. Hit on out there to the left side and into left field for a base hit. Scoring from third is J.J. Weatherall, and that will cut down it to a 5-3 Cincinnati lead on the RBI bloop single to left by Alec Burleson. And the Cardinals have runners on first and second with one out here in the bottom of the 10th inning. And we got ourselves a pinch runner there for Alec Burleson in the person of Nate Church. So the Cardinals are trying to make a comeback of it here in the bottom of the 10th. They still have quite a hill to climb. Stepping up to the plate is the righty hitting shortstop for St. Louis, Mason Wynn, who is 2 for 3 this afternoon with a walk. He has runners on first and second with one out. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch from Garcia. Strike, sweeper down Broadway below the belt. And the count is 0-1. Runners lead off first and second. Now the 0-1 offering. A foul ball on the check swing on the sweeper up and in. And now Wynn is down 0-2 to Garcia. He gets into the box. Garcia comes set at the belt. He deals. Swinging strike three on the four-seam fastball. Down hacking goes Mason Wynn for the second out of the inning. So good morning, good afternoon, good night. Does it on 3 pitches. Now here is Jose Fermin in the 6 hole. He is 0 for 1, had a sacrifice fly and an RBI, and he's also walked today. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. A 5-3 Cincinnati lead, bottom of the 10th. Righty-righty matchup, the pitch. A sweeper strike, outside corner thigh high, and the count is 0-1. Garcia looks in, runners lead, Herrera at second. Church at first, Garcia is 0-1. A sweeper down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Nate Church at first there represents the tying run. Garcia comes set. He's thrown 20 pitches so far. He deals. Strike, sweeper on the inner third, thigh high, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the Cardinals are down to their final strike here. Jose Fermin having to play defense on anything close. Runners lead off first and second. It's a 5-3 Cincinnati lead. He comes set. The 1-2. There's a fly ball out to left field. Coming in over to his left is Blade. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the final out. And it's a 5-3 Reds lead. And they take 2 of 3 in this 3-game weekend set at Busch Stadium. And 5-3 Cincinnati is your final. So 5-3 Cincinnati in 10. A disappointing conclusion here on the final game, the rubber match between St. Louis and Cincinnati. So no victory means no victory tune, but 5-3 Cincinnati is your final. Now a programming note. Tomorrow night, the Cardinals open what is a 4-game set at Busch Stadium, and that is scheduled for a 6:45 p.m. Central Time first pitch. I will be live here on Game Mic at 6:35 p.m. Central Time to begin the play-by-play live stream. So the first game against the Cubs, the first of 4 at Busch Stadium, 6:45 p.m. Central Time scheduled first pitch. I will be live here on Game Mic at 6:35 p.m. Central Time. I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me here and spending part of your Saturday afternoon with me here on Game Mic. Win or lose, I know I have the greatest gig in the world, being able to spend so much time with so many wonderful people, Cards fans and Reds fans, or whoever the Cardinals playing alike. And I'd like to thank you all so much for your time here this afternoon. 5-3 Cincinnati in 10 is your final. Jeff Coleman, Cubs tomorrow. See you then. Another great call, Paul D. 6:35 heard. Cheers, Jeff, and thank you so much for your generosity in the Super Chats. Jimmy, great call, Paul. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Jordan, thank you for today, Paul. You're awesome for your work here, brother. Thank you so much, Jordan. I really appreciate that. John Medley, congratulations. I hope you stay well. I'll be at work again. Hey, Jeff, thank you for the work you do. Maybe one of these days I'll see you down there at Mid Rivers Mall. We can meet formally at some point. I've been known to make my way up there on occasion, so if I pass by your establishment, I'll see if you're around. Happy Hodag. The next 4 games will be crucial for a Cardinals playoff run. There's no question about it. J.M. Jones, good to see you. Thanks, Paul. You got it, J.M. Jones. You got it, Happy Hodag. Happy to do it. Harold Hausman. Yeah, no doubt another great game called, Paul D. Well, thank you so much, Harold. You're always a pleasure here, and I thank you so much. Awesome, Jeff. Brian Jones, I appreciate you, sir. Let's go Reds. Hey, Brian Jones, thank you for your time this afternoon. I appreciate the kind words. Well, everybody, get a P.O. box for us, Paul. I will keep that in mind. All right, everybody, this has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mic, and you're very welcome, Warlord. Hope to see you around. Thank you for your time. This has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mic. 5-3 Cincinnati in 10 is your final. They take the rubber match here on the Sunday. We'll be back tomorrow for Cubs v. Cardinals down at Busch, 6:45 p.m. scheduled first pitch. I'll be live here on Game Mic at 6:35 p.m. Central Time. I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me. Bombers Game Mic over and out. Be well, both you and yours, wherever you may be. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And be well, everybody. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.